Fae and Alchemy, episode 11. What up, dog?
Or, I'm not a witch, I'm your wife.
Or, where, oh, where could my Ren fist be?
Or, Hayden's gonna hate.
That he is.
Is he?
You do be like that sometimes.
Is he, Gavin?
Welcome back to Between Pages and Friends, a book club podcast hosted by Con and Lauren, two besties who read a lot of books, and John and Kyle, their gamer-turned-reader husbands who've agreed to read with them. I'm Kyle.
I'm Lauren.
I'm John.
And I'm Con. Today we are discussing Brimstone chapters 35 to 43. This is a book club podcast, and the four of us are reading Brimstone for the very first time, so you're in a safe space to read along spoiler-free.
This is your friendly reminder to please refrain from sending us any spoilers in the meantime. Con and Lauren personally monitor all DMs and emails, so don't be that guy. Please save all of your funny Brimstone memes and theories and reactions until after we've had a chance to finish the book.
If you're looking for a space to spoil the book and yourself, join our Patreon. All Patreon tiers get you access to our community Discord with chats dedicated to discussions following each podcast episode, with and without spoilers. Our $5 Patreon tier also includes all of our live events, monthly book club, reading challenges, and the full archive of our past content. For $10 a month, you'll also receive early access to ad-free episodes, merch discounts, voting privileges, an exclusive hangout space, and more.
And if you'd like to hang out with us in person, now's your chance. On April 25th, we'll be attending A Sorcerer's Affair at the Bergmont Winery in Bucyrus, Kansas. It's truly a magical evening by Bookish Lore Events with a VIP experience hosted by the four of us and some other amazing content creators. Tickets are limited, so use code FRIENDS15 for $15 off your tickets now at bookishloreeventskc.com.
And now, a message from a listener like you. Here's a recent 5-star review on Apple Podcasts from our new bestie, Giselle 525, titled, Besties. My book bestie that I threatened to read TOG with me sent me this podcast, and now I am listening to the Quicksilver episode on the eve of Brimstone release. I love you guys so much. I find myself laughing in the car when you guys are laughing. It just makes my day to listen to you all. Can't wait to read Brimstone with you all. Heart emoji. Love from Boston. Well, thanks from Cincinnati, Giselle 525.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
And Happy New Year, y'all.
Happy New Year!
Nice. That was perfect.
That was so scary.
2025 has been quite an incredible year here at BP&F. We are so grateful for every listen. You are the best part of our reading journeys. Thank you for being here, and cheers to 2025.
Hey, somebody's been drinking.
Cheers to 2025.
Somebody's starting early.
Yeah, what's in that bottle there, John?
Gin.
Straight gin.
Just straight up gin.
Yep. I'm taking a cue from old Michael Scott.
Wow.
Amazing.
Woo. Welcome to the last Con's Declassified Fantasy Pronunciation Guide of 2025. This is the part of the show where we highlight all the new names and places mentioned in this chapter section. We are, of course, referencing the audiobook narrated by the incomparable Stella Bloom and Anthony Palmini, as well as the written pronunciation guide in the front of the book. In places this week, we have Inishtar and Omnimarin. These were mentioned before, but it's been a while. Balin's End. This is Tal's ancestral seat. The Randy Swine, the tavern the Shadowgate is leading them to at the end of the chapter section. For characters, we have Royan, king of the Galarian Fae, Shara, king of the Lycian Fae, Taladeus Hellier, this is the first mention of his last name, Cavan Dalish, who petitioned to be Amaneth's keeper of warfare, Ibanwe, who petitioned to be keeper of pain, and then other titles proposed were keeper of monies, truths, and antiquities. In world building, we have the Gravens, described by Fisher as, quote, a kind of half satyr, half troll with a little bit of basilisk thrown in for good measure. The Kinross clan, the clan that Algat was cast out of for practicing dark magic. And lastly, Viridius or Saint's Steeple. These are other names for Widow's Bane. I now pronounce you all guided. Meet us at John's chapter recap for the reception.
Welcome, guests, Chapter 35, Fisher point of view. Finding out what happened to Archer and that Brimstone apparently kills the rot. However, it's not as easy as simply using what we learn is the fire sprite's life force, because they only have a finite amount and it doesn't regenerate like blood does. Even losing more than a few drops requires the pyre, which is the sprite's family / community basically, to donate some of their own to save that sprite. Almost said person. Fisher and Saris take a little break up on the roof. We get the story about how his father lost a toe to a graven, and we finally get some further confirmation that Finran wielded shadows. Then they head to the huntsman's cottage in their dreams for some peace and quiet and a brief respite from the current events. Chapter 36, Saris POV. She wakes up with Archer surprisingly rushing in to tell her that Hayden is awake. So he's going to be just fine, Lauren. He's going to live and have a long and healthy little sprite life. And this is for Lauren's reinsurance and definitely nobody else's. She goes to visit Hayden, who tells her all about how Madra has been spreading lies, portraying Saris as a martyr for Zilvarin, telling the people that Saris worked for her and was murdered by Fae. She has everyone believing it. Everyone but Elroy, really. He believes Saris is innocent, and she catches the wording that Hayden uses here, confronting him that he thinks all of this is true. So they argue about it a little. Saris finally just kind of blowing up at him about everything she did back in the third to keep them and him alive. As she's shouting, her Brimstone rune lights up. She consults Adina's book, getting a warning about how she will need to face some things to seal this rune and to check back with its pages for the Even Light Ball. Fisher finds her a bit later with news that Wren was supposed to warn several towns about the rot, but only made it so far as to warn the Galarians, and he hasn't been seen since. Yo. Chapter 37, Fisher POV. We find him struggling to not read his mother's book for Saris as they prepare for the Evenlight Ball at Amontreath. Saris feeling quote-unquote ridiculous in her new tailored custom-fitted dress, boo freaking who. And speaking of custom-fitted, Fisher can't help himself and decides to help Saris relieve some stress before her big night in this week's segment of Emoji Erotica.
Wow.
That
was a nice transition.
Thank you.
In your dress.
In your dress. Up your
Oh, that's
bean.
good. Up your dress.
Up your dress. Emoji Erotica. All right. Side eyes. Penguin. Parentheses. Rain cloud. And a rolled up newspaper. End parentheses. Wavy line. Question mark. Hand. Fire. Water droplet. A 6 o'clock clock. And then a midnight clock. Khan knows what that one is. The shouting silhouette emoji. My next one is technically ramen, but I wanted it for noodles. So that's what I'm going for here is noodles. The number 3, a peach, a plunger, the see no evil monkey, a cup, a conch shell. Okay. Check mark. And the first ever on Emoji Erotica, I have a double parentheses.
Ooh.
And this is, I can't wait to explain this to you guys, but for the rest of you, all right, parentheses, a castle, another start parentheses, white square, and like a blind guiding stick, end parentheses, and then a tomato, end parentheses.
I have absolutely no idea.
Wave, ink splot, bouquet, and a glass of milk. And that is this week's Emoji Erotica. Emoji Erotica.
See, me being confused on an emoji and you just saying con nose is so wild. It's like, I mean, good for you guys, I guess, or whatever's
He
going
went
on
from
over
6 to
there.
midnight.
Yeah, Kyle. Yes.
Okay. I'm just like, all right, guys.
I'm so
God
excited.
knows.
you got that.
Hey.
This quote all the time.
That's definitely not how I meant it. But
Very funny.
goodness. All right. And that leaves Saris and the rest of us drooling in all the right places as she reads the excerpt from Adina's book and they head down to the ball. Chapter 38, Fisher POV up in their seats and taking in the party. It's finally time to hear the petitions for the new Lord of Midnight. Tal wants to take care of severing the bond as the first order of business, and before he gets started, Fisher notices a new and rather large tattoo on Tal's chest. Tal addresses the crowd. As he does, Sarah sends a thrall off on some task. As Tal finishes his de-oathing sentiment, Saris doubles over and vomits up Tal's blood into a bucket. And that's basically the end of that. Bond severed. The first candidate is a former soldier of Fisher's and makes Fisher think back to how short-sighted he must have been to think that Malcolm would just leave members of the army to die on the field. Then we get to Ibanwe looking to become Keeper of Pain, as both Saris and Fisher notice that she has a face full of inactive alchemist runes. Once an alchemist, she makes a snide comment about Saris not having the stomach to rule the court, and Saris gives her the old silent first one to talk loses stare, and Ibanwe eventually breaks the silence with Zovina chiming in shortly after. She gets some thoughts out, and Saris promptly uses her power to take a candelabra, wrap it around Zovina's throat, and pin her to the ground with it, making her way over to her, grabbing a chair, and propping her feet up on Zovina's back. She stays that way through all of the candidates, finally letting Zovina up, with Tal eventually kind of cutting in, trying to wrap things up. But Saris has an ace up her sleeve as Foley, my Foley, comes sauntering in, led by the thrall that Saris sent out. Chapter 39, Saris POV, continuing on amidst the uproar of the court members now throwing things at Foley. Algat also chimes in, stating that he can't be a lord since he has not sworn fealty to Sanisroth, an argument that Saris was counting on, so she could retort that the Hazrax technically has not sworn fealty either, yet here he is. We get kind of a sweet mind battle with Saris and Algat, short, but Saris giving a final F-off in the form of mental knives, which is kind of a cool, sweet moment. And then Foley swears fealty to Saris, and she names him Lord of Midnight. As she does, the Aurora comes to life even more so than when Loreth named Visieth, as the Blood Court marvels at its beauty. And then the party starts, everybody getting blood drunk and having a good old time. Fisher and Saris dance. He shows her the Widow's Bane, and then all hell breaks loose, with vamps going down and writhing in pain. Tal in the middle of all of it, giving off this crazed zealot type energy, talking about a final death, and if they accept a vial from the thralls in the room, they will be saved and quote-unquote reborn. Then Tal drinks from the glass that he's holding and goes down himself. Chapter 40, Saris POV. They race to one of the thralls to get one of the vials to save Tal. Foley makes him drink. A vast minority of the High Bloods look to have chosen to save themselves. They figure out that it's not just magic, but a spell to affect those of Malcolm's line. Zovina approaches the party, looking like her normal self, shocked and surprised, heart beating. Fisher asks Saris to help Tal and takes off with Zovina, oddly. Tal comes to, telling them that they have to let him go as he continues to have seizures. Fisher returns with Zovina, looking for Algat, but they got to get out of there. Saris hooks them all up with relics, and they head back to Kalish. Still, we're in Chapter 40, but it switches mid-chapter to Fisher POV, recounting what happened to Telena and Maynir when Ishabal saunters in, just the person that they were wanting to talk to, because she's the one who helped Tal with this whole thing. A transference spell on the thralls, as she calls it, a small mark, so it would take her blood and not theirs, as they were, dripping it in the High Blood's cups throughout the night, with the large tattoo on Tal being the conduit for this spell. Ishabal is shocked to learn that Tal is still alive and demands to see him right away. The tattoo is a witch mark. They head into Tal's room to it on fire, along with Tal's body. Ishabal gets to work trying to untie the knots of the spell, telling them all that he was supposed to die and that the mark would have gone with him. Then Telena shares that if Ishabal can't undo the mark, then it will open a gateway to the demon realm. Sarah steps toward the bed and moves over top Tal, arm radiating white-blue as she presses her hand against Tal's chest, and the fires go out. Chapter 41, Sarah's POV. Somewhere in Dream Ballard, getting out some frustration about Ishabal, how she didn't even try to find Ren when they initially asked her to. Sarah's taking in her new rune. Something had compelled her to go to Tal as if her body was not her own. They discuss the possibility of what the spell and contents of the vial might have done to Saris if she happened to be a part of that whole debacle. Would she have turned Fae or gone back to human or worse? They finally awake from their dream. Saris heads to the forge, She runs into Carrion on the way, who asks for her help with something. They go back to his room, the one that they both woke up in, by the way. He has made it his own since then. Onyx even sleeping in his wardrobe. Then he shows her the plant, which grows and blooms the more Carrion talks, assuring him that he's not going crazy. The ground trembles, and from the forest, what they mistake for the horde is 10,000 warriors from their camp, led by Loreth. Chapter 42, Sarah's POV. Danya explains what they've seen, the rot streaming down from Omnimaran Mountains and how they need to evacuate on foot, and that it will reach Kalish in 12 hours, 16 max. Sarah consults Adina's book again to see if anything is said on the matter. All she gets, which she's late on to read, is to not change what Zareth created in her, and don't let Foley drink either, referencing what happened at the Evenlight Ball, and to read on at the White Cliffs, which hints at evacuating to Inishtar. Danya and Fisher argue about Brimstone and what their next steps would be. Loreth trying to calm both of them down. Loreth mentions that there is another way, but Fisher shoots it down quick, and that's all we get for the moment. Saris talks to Hayden, who is a bit confused about who he is and is to become now that he's here in Evalia. Saris tries to reassure him and sends him inside as she rounds the corner to find the Hazrax. And then we find out that Saris's new rune is a gift from the creature, and that the rune itself is its name, which is obviously not Hazrax. He explains that it is a two-part gift, and that he's also seen what the Oracle Adina has seen. He gives her a Lord of Midnight ring for Foley and tells her that she's almost figured out what he is. Chapter 43, Fisher POV. Ishabal is having no luck scrying for Ren. He tells her that he's sending her back to Nevercross when she's finished, and he's thinking of going with her to visit their high priestess, and also to bring Tal. He kind of tricks Ishabal here into admitting that the clan doesn't know what she did at Amontreath because it goes kind of against their morals or principles, because it sounds like what she did was technically dark magic. Loreth uses his rarely seen magic to pin Ishabal, and she hints at being the kind of witch that can look into a person's soul. Saris bursting in scalds both Loreth and Fisher about their actions toward Ishabal, but they have other things to deal with, like the rot that has already appeared at Kalish. They get all the warriors through Fisher's Shadow Gate. Fisher and Saris do a little regroup, making sure that he understands that they do not torture people and that they should send Ishabal back to her land ASAP, and that she would like to return to Amontreath at some point, if nothing else than to check the horde and just make sure that they're just not running rampant. The rest of the party are coming down from the estate. The Friar Sprites are going to remain at the estate and stay below ground. They go through the gate in groups. Hayden and Saris, the final pair, leaving Fisher and Foley alone at the gate. They talk briefly about how bad Fisher has it for Saris, and then Foley finally goes through. Fisher finally steps through with Onyx, as Foley's laughter morphs into something else. A voice from the space between worlds. What up, dog?
That's exactly what it says.
Well, what a great reception. On to the after party. The after party is the bulk of this episode, apparently. So grab a glass of champagne and pick someone to kiss, because here we go.
I'll be there soon, Kyle.
Minnie, where are you?
Help is on the way to you.
All right, let's get this party started. Party. My first note for chapter 35, which is called Brimstone in Kingfisher's POV. Kingfisher's noting that Ishabal returns to them now as a prioress, quote, dressed in accordance with her family's arcane line. In the span of the few days she had been away, she had undergone the most intense trial she was ever likely to face in her lifetime. She was probably exhausted and wounded, and yet she had still returned here to Kalish to help. And I wrote, okay, now I need an Ishabal POV book immediately. And now I want one even more than I did when I read this initially.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and we get some confirmation here about Fisher's father. It says, my father had his own magic, but he was like me. He commanded shadows and not much of anything else. And I wrote in my notes, I was like, Lauren, we get confirmation. It's the shadows.
I absolutely freaked out, and I'm listening to audio and following along on my phone to take notes, digital or whatever at this moment. And I almost throw my phone trying to stop the book so I could write notes, and I'm freaking out. But I went onto Callie's website and tried to check the book to see what it was. And so the audiobook was correct. according to this, that
Okay.
the audiobook said the father controls shadows. Her website still says mother controls shadows. So
I feel like that would make sense.
Yeah.
That if like, something was updated or a thought or that whole thing was updated, that it would be the audiobook or whatever.
yeah. Well, and
Yeah.
it's like her whole website is completely new, like completely redone. It's actually really cool. Everybody
Oh.
go check out Kelly's website.
It's
It's brand
super
new.
cool.
So
Okay.
cool.
Nice.
But like when you click on to the bonus chapters, it still says like these are, written whenever
Unedited.
unedited,
Yeah.
blah blah blah. And I'm
Hmm.
like, but girly, could you just go change that one word? Just need the one, just to make me feel better,
Girly.
and then I can just like let it go as far as a potential multiverse drama stuff we've all talked about and whatever. But
Fun
what
facts.
we do know is
Yes.
that Finran had shadows. Which goes even more with the whole Joshin thing and like how his shadows were like kind of reacting to the wall or the magic that was there. It would make more sense too that Finran is the thing that locked Joshin up. But if he did do that, that means that Finran got out of Madras Castle from like his initial capture.
That's
in that Carrion
true.
POV or the Orlena Perry POV chapter. So I don't
And like,
know.
how
I'm still
are we gonna
convinced
get
he's out
that
there somewhere.
confirmation? Yeah. Is he gonna come back through the Quicksilver? Like how?
I don't know. I wish Joshin would have said something, like
Yeah.
made a joke about how your dad is the one who locked me in here. Now you're letting me out or something. I don't know.
Just
But no.
Joshin, yeah.
You
Yes,
look just
Joshin.
like this guy who locked me up.
What are you doing back here?
Yeah. My first note in this whole section is Kingfisher's dad talking with the Graven, making a deal in this story to get the love potion he requires. The Graven asks, I would want your right foot. I want your whole right foot. And I just put the image of Rocket Raccoon saying, I need that guy's leg from Guardians of the Galaxy. I've been watching through the whole cinematic universe with my girl, so prepare for a lot of Marvel references because that's all that's in my head.
Ooh.
But that's the first one. My first real note was when Saris asks if the love potion that his dad got worked. And Kingfisher says, well, of course not. That would have had robbed someone of their free will. And I was like, oh, yeah. You mean like you did a few weeks ago? Like potions don't work, but fair game if it's an oath. Like as long as there's consent. So that would mean the potion was non-consensual? Like what kind of dad do you have? Like what is going on? But whatever. Hey,
That's a fair question. Fair point. Love potions are a tricky business.
They are. Sounds pretty non-consensual to me, honestly.
So as Fisher is telling Sarah the story about his dad and the love potion, she asks, did your mother tell you that story? And he says, no, Archer did. Nearly all the stories I know of my father have come from him. And I was like, why are we not asking Archer more questions? He has all this information about
real.
about Adina too. Oh, I want to know more from Archer. And now I'm sad that they just left him behind.
I know. He just was okay, and now they're just leaving him to not be okay.
I know.
What the heck?
Well, I had another possible OSHA compliance here for calling out where Fisher says, I know you, Saris Fane. Even as a fragile human, you are strong, independent. It would have crushed your spirit if I had sheltered you from this world. Your choices had to be your own. I saw that in the end. I see it now, too, every day. You have a right to walk the road that stretches out before you. I will not rob you of your path by insisting I carry you. That's a pretty good compliance.
Pretty
So-
nice.
It's pretty nice.
We just don't see the OSHA boys anymore. He's just compliant to all things
he's
now
compliant.
in
I
book
mean,
2 or
Honestly, I know that you have some notes later on about this, and I would say the same thing goes for here with OSHA. Like I'll bring it up when you talk about it.
me.
But yeah, much later on in the episode.
Oh, I
But
don't
I'll bring it
know
up when
what.
you talk about it. Compliance
Oh.
versus violation.
All right.
Oh,
All right.
okay. I don't even know
All
what that
right.
is, but sure.
Yeah.
Continue. It's your
All
note.
right. It is. That's true. It's chapter 36. Would that I could. Sarah's POV. And I just wrote, Wow, no thirsting over Archer being an inch taller. Like, come on, he did a dance and everything. Everyone freaked out about Carrie and getting like a foot or two, and Archer grows an inch and no one cares.
I was cracking up at no thirsting over Archer. It's hilarious. But you wrote this before I was done with my notes. Of course I highlighted this. I was so excited for him. It said he turned hands in the air, wiggling his hips side to side in a little dance that seemed far braver than normal. When he had completed his dance, he cleared his throat and said rather seriously, "I'm 1 inch taller than I used to be." Oh, little Archer, he's so cute. I'm so glad that he's okay.
Yeah. But all the
I was so
females in the
relieved.
pyre were like, "Ooh, Archer's tall. He's got a war scar."
He's doing his little dance down
Yeah.
there.
He's like, no, I'll stay back with everyone.
I'll take one for the team. It's fine.
I'm getting all this new
Dirty
attention.
dog.
Oh my gosh. Well, friends, get ready for a lot of drinkies in this episode. Here's your first one right now. Hayden clenched his jaw, looking
wow.
away. Cheers.
Happy New Year.
Small sips.
Okay. My next note will be a little more relevant if you have read Throne of Glass. It's not a spoiler if you haven't, but Hayden's little temper tantrum here, where he says, "I don't know," and he like explodes on Saris, and he says, "How the hell am I supposed to know? You never included me in any of the things you were working on. You never let me go anywhere with you after Reckoning. You were always off to one secret meeting or another. You'd never breathe a word of where you were going, would you?" And I wrote, "It's giving Adian."
In response to that, I wrote, "He's not wrong, though." I mean,
I know.
speaking for both of those men.
Very similar relationships, yes. And Adian was sort of like the immature little brother in a way.
Was he blonde?
Adian was blonde, yeah.
Probably.
so hated.
Ugh.
I mean,
They're the same.
I will say Hayden's probably a little bit more right here than I think
Yeah.
Adian was, but
fair.
he's got a valid point.
And then Hayden sets his jaw, so drink again.
Man.
Don't put those cups away, because then Saris thumps her own chest,
Oh my
clenching her jaw to the point of pain.
Oh my
Drink
gosh.
up,
So
y'all.
hydrated.
Goodness, I gotta stop drinking on my own. I'm gonna be covered. I keep taking my own drinks, and like a moment later, we have another one.
yeah.
So I'm like, I gotta
It's
stop.
like, what?
Sounded
I
a
do
little
also have to
different.
stop drinking on my own. That's just another issue.
Okay. From Adina's letter, there is this little excerpt that says, "I am breaking all the laws of the universe with this gambit, but for it to work, you cannot skip ahead in this book. You will read things that will prevent you from facing the challenges in front of you for fear of the ones ahead, to the ruin of us all. I implore you, please do not do it. Each entry in this book has been written in service of a specific moment to come. For any of this to bear fruit, the dominoes must fall in order." And I wrote, this is so cool. And also, LOL, of course Saris is going to read ahead at some point. A little nervous for that.
But at this point, she's going to read ahead, and then Adina will be like, "You were supposed to do that. It's totally fine."
Gotcha.
That's true.
She's already forgotten to
So
read
true.
once.
Yeah, that's also true.
I love that. I was going to put the gif from Family Guy of the button that says like, "Do not push button," and Peter's just like side-eyeing it, and then he pushes it. And then I found this one from Madagascar where they're also doing that, and it's pretty funny because the other penguins are like, no, wait.
That's us watching Sarah.
Yep, exactly. And then I have a God's Watch, y'all. This quote says, "The alchemists hadn't just channeled Quicksilver. In some cases, they had become so intertwined with it that they merged with it altogether to become silver-eyed heralds of the gods."
Yeah.
Do we know if the lady with the runes on her face, do we know if she is alive?
Nope.
I guess
The one who used to be an
not
alchemist?
explicitly.
No, we don't know.
Because I wonder if that would happen. I feel like Saris can't be like a herald of the gods because they can't see her.
Yeah,
Right.
but I could.
You could herald something you can't see, like a weatherman with the wind.
Yeah, God. Got him.
Here's Saris with the weather.
Okay, but I could see this being Sarah since her like veins are already silver and everything. Like
True,
she's
yeah.
turning more silver, I guess. Because you put a picture of the Silver Surfer where this lady
I
is
did.
literally full
That
on
was my.
silver. Oh, that was
that
you,
was
Kyle?
my. Yeah, that was my second Marvel reference because she literally says, "I herald his beginning. I herald your end. I herald Galactus." She's the herald of Galactus, and she's silver.
Oh, wow. Okay, so Saris is the Silver Surfer then.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a mouthful. Wow.
Ceres,
Okay,
the
I like
Silver
that.
Surfer.
The Silver Ceres. This next one is just, I couldn't unhear Kyle in my head in this part where Kyle was going, hell yeah, brother, get a Baconator. Because in Ceres's POV, it says Fisher smelled like fresh snow, smoke, and the faintest hint of powdered sugar, which told me that he'd stayed at Wendy's long enough to share a cup of tea. I was like, oh, he stayed at Wendy's for a long time. That's
I was like, they don't
Must
serve that
smell
at
like
Wendy's. I'm going to ask for that next time I'm in the drive-thru. Can I have a Beto biscuit and a cup of tea?
And they'll be like, oh, you're here for the Brimstone special? Here you go.
Like, dang it.
That cross promotion.
Can we get sponsored by
code word.
Wendy's for the rest of these episodes?
Yeah, Wendy's.
Can we please?
Should have been working on that.
Yeah.
And then we could eat every episode. John, it's
Under
your
the
dream.
tagline, hell yeah, brother, get a Baconator. We'll start to see that advertised there.
Everybody in the comments, tag Wendy's.
If anyone was,
Yeah.
Wendy's would. They were the original SAS Online of all those food
Yeah,
brands.
Wendy's
so.
social media is hilarious. Absolutely. Okay. This just made me laugh. This is the note is probably completely valid. I just thought it was funny. Kingfisher says, but yes, I think Ren might be in some kind of hot water, and I have no idea how to find him, so we can get him out of it. And I don't know why calling it like, oh, he is in some hot water just made me laugh so hard. I know it's completely normal, but it made me laugh. And I just think it's really funny. He is in some hot water, guys.
Go off, Queen.
Thanks. It's so funny.
My little tea bag. Rin my little tea bag.
He's just in some
He's
hot
in some
water.
hot water. he just steeping.
He's steeping.
If there's any tea that Lauren would drink, it'd be Renfist tea.
True.
Good point.
Sounds pretty good. Sign me up.
Some hot tea.
Now I'm taking this
All
hot
right.
worter thing very seriously. It is not funny anymore. I am here for it.
I'm sure Lauren hates imagining Renfist in hot water, just in a hot tub,
He's just in a hot tub chilling.
steam coming off.
Watch them like actually find him in like some hot springs or something.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be very funny.
All right, chapter 37 is called 3 Minutes. This is Kingfisher's POV. We open this chapter with Khan shouting at Ceres to stop messing with her dress and open the dang book. I was so mad. I was so mad about that. I just kept, the whole time, I'm like, why are you talking? Why are you doing anything else? Open the book. Anyway. No, John, no.
All right, Happy New Year.
I feel like we were in the middle of a bit or something.
I think we were
You
just
were-
laughing.
That book.
And then Sarah says, and then, and
Come on.
then,
That book.
And then
Okay.
then-
Too much laughter. Too much laughter.
I pet that dog. Oh boy. Here we
and
go.
then Sarah's clenched, her jaw locking, and our glasses clinking.
Hello.
Cheers.
Like she clenched and then locked her jaw?
That's what it says.
Double drinkies.
Lock into the clinch.
Well, I don't know what clenched. I don't know if it was her jaw.
Oh. The sound effects, gentlemen.
Everybody tunes in for our impressions of someone clenching and locking their jaw, right? Can't wait to hear how they manifest this one.
You guys do know what scene that's happening in, right?
Well, I'll tell you, this scene gets a little spicy. And Kingfisher says, your body is mine for the next 3 minutes. Surrender. And I put the image of Bonesaw from Spider-Man saying, I've got you for 3 minutes. 3 minutes of playtime. Bonesaw is ready.
That's an amazing reference.
Yeah.
Oh.
One
Yeah,
of your best.
my-
Thank you.
My next note was her getting another tattoo. Beautiful roses bloomed across the tops of her thighs as she moaned. An entire bouquet's worth, shaded with delicate dot work, yet still stark against the pale, creamy perfection of her thighs. And I was like, I mean, at this rate, they'll be blacked out tatted within like a month or two.
True.
New
But
tats like
this
every
one,
other day.
this one sounds super hot. It sounds like a cross between the tattoo on my arm and like my whole Pinterest board of tattoos.
Sure. Totes.
I'm here for it. I love this. I still want to know what freaking Kingfisher's tattoo is that he got, but it's fine. It's fine. I have another note about that later.
Probably like a skull with a knife through it. Says, hell yeah.
Some
Oh, yeah, brother. Eat that Baconator.
It's a Wendy's Baconator.
This is a Wendy's logo.
There's a sponsored tattoo.
What's the thing they sing in SpongeBob while the Krabby Patty's coming up on the screen? It's like
Where he goes, it goes off forever.
yes. I want it to be
The
like
Krabby
that.
Patty.
Yes. I want it to be that view, like animated in the style of the Krabby Patty. A
yeah.
Baconator.
Yeah, because their
That's what I
tattoos
want.
can move, so it could zoom in
It could do that.
slowly.
The snort.
That's one of my all-time favorite SpongeBob bits.
Yes. Wow. Okay. I love this. This is headcanon for me now. My next note is that in Fisher's POV, he makes a point to fix Ceres's dress and underskirts to make sure it was all smoothed out. And I wrote, well, thank the gods, because I was genuinely concerned about all of Yannicka's hard work. Justice for Yannicka. That's it.
Talk about an OSHA compliance.
Fix her dress.
I was
Yeah,
so
Yannicka
mad.
would've been pissed.
She
you F in my
sewed
dress?
Ceres.
Specifically told you not to get horny in this dress.
She basically sewed Ceres into it, and this was after all the work she put in and her 200 years of experience in this castle. And then she leaves the room, and immediately Ceres is like pulling at it, and then Kingfisher's like pulling up her skirts, and I was like, ugh, you guys. It's
Probably
3
overheard
minutes.
him saying, like, I'll tear that dress off of you. She's like, if you touch that dress, I'll kill you.
She's the one who poisoned everyone.
Yeah.
Plot twist.
Well, and right after this, she's like, oops, I need to read your mom's journal and, like, catch up on what's happening. And I was only, like, picturing her going in and Adina being like, okay, well, now that my son's done making you scream into the mirror, here's what you need to do at the ball. Because Adina knows everything that happens. And she's like, you should be wrapping up right about now. And now it's time to go to the ball.
Wow.
Read this after your next orgasm.
Yeah.
Wink.
That takes us into chapter 38, Scion of No One, Kingfisher POV. And this is Fisher looking at Tal, noticing he's got something going on with his chest, some new ink. The extensive ink I glimpsed now staining his skin was new. I crooked a questioning eyebrow at the male, who registered it immediately, but only gave me a small private smile by way of explanation. And at first I was like, okay, he maybe has like a mate that we never knew about.
Mates?
Mate.
I thought this was an excellent guess because I didn't have any theories at this point. Like I was highlighting stuff just to note, but I don't know. I thought this was a really good guess coming off of this conversation that they just not conversation, but this situation that just happened where they got new tattoos.
Well, maybe he still does, given who gave it to him.
You think Isha Ball is his mate?
Maybe they're obviously comfortable. Like, oh, I'll just temporary tat your chest. Don't mind me.
Temporary tat. He was going to die.
But now that he's back, she's like, well, I could get more of it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I could get
While
more.
Lorith is sitting right there.
True. I was for a second though, not on the level of thinking he may have had a mate because I think I might have actually been convinced of that. But I was like, is Tal somehow also getting tattooed every time Ceres and Kingfisher do? Because that would have been hilarious to me.
That'd be wild.
Because Tal was outside the door while that was happening. He knew what was going on in there. But I thought it would have been really funny if he kept getting these tattoos.
I forgot he was outside the door. He was even like, I can hear you.
Yeah.
I can smell you.
And I'm just going, okay. He probably could.
Probably. So Taladeus announces this breaking of the bond by calling himself once eldest son of the Hellier household. So I'm just curious about what that means and if he's just acknowledging Kyle.
I didn't say anything.
My brain immediately went, Hellier, hardly know her. And I almost interrupted you.
I saw it on her face, and that's what made me laugh.
I almost
Earlier-
interrupted you, and then I stopped.
Earlier, while I was doing the pronunciation guide, Kyle typed next to Taladeus Hellier, Hellier!
Hellier.
Hellier, get that Baconator.
Anyway, I'm just wondering why he led with that when he's introducing himself. Was he acknowledging that he's no longer Fae by saying like he was the once eldest son? But why would he make a point to say this and list it as like before his title as Keeper of Secrets? I just thought that was interesting. I also wrote that down before this whole thing happened where like he turned people back into Fae, but like he wasn't planning on doing that.
Yeah, maybe like just remembering what he once was.
I mean, maybe it's just his official title, and he had to make it a very formal thing or something and had to say all the right fancy words.
Maybe.
Adding it for like
know.
dramatic effect. That's what I was kind of thinking.
No.
Yeah. One last chance.
I mean, he
to get the
definitely put
sound
on
of
a
his own
show.
voice.
Like, the whole thing was very over the top.
Yeah, that's true. I just thought it was interesting. Knowing now that, he might have some claim to that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I was thinking, like, what does the rescinding of the blood mean for a vampire, though? Because, like, okay, so what's this going to mean for her? Because it was his blood that saved her life. So I thought it was odd that this was even something that could be done. And it apparently not really have an effect. I mean, I don't know.
I guess it wouldn't have had an effect for Foley either, since they did that so long ago.
Yeah.
I mean,
guess
for
just that magic gave them life, but it wasn't keeping them alive. Like, the rest of them had now changed as well, because she still had to go through a whole transition process.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
yeah.
So they just took out that tiny part that she still had, I guess. I don't know.
Where'd it come from? That's my thing.
And
Where to go?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
But it does make sense with some of the, like, how she remembered how to go to his room and stuff, because, like, the blood had memory or whatever, because she literally had some of his
yeah.
blood still in her. Like, some of that, I guess, makes sense.
Yeah.
But,
so what happens to the bucket with the blood in it?
I mean, there was a lot more blood on the ground by the end of
Yeah.
the party, so I'm not sure anyone went to check. But maybe.
Very true. Very true.
There's just a giant dungeon basement just full of buckets. Because didn't he say Malcolm did that? Oh, I guess not full of buckets.
Not
but
all the time, but
yeah.
Keeper of the buckets.
Keeper of the buckets.
Someone's job.
I'd like to be the janitorial Lord of Midnight. Keeper of the buckets.
That was part of Keeper of Secrets. Maybe that
Maybe,
was
yeah,
part of
yeah.
Tal's job.
Secret buckets.
Okay, I had to bring this up. Okay, they mentioned like blood and wine as he's talking through this. And I was like, okay, guys, there is a Witcher DLC called Blood and Wine. Okay.
There is.
I am on the train. If I wasn't before, I definitely am now.
Choo
If we
choo.
ever get to interview Callie, you can ask her if she's played or seen or read
I will.
anything with the
Absolutely
Witcher.
will.
She's a Witcher fan.
Yeah.
And
Witcher.
if not, why not?
Yeah.
Hardly know her.
We should also ask her what her Wendy's order is. No context. Okay. I really want to trust Tal. Like, I've just always really liked him as a person, maybe just because he's a vampire and he was like the nice one of the two that we really got to know in Quicksilver. So I don't know. I was really, I don't know. I had a lot of mixed emotions, specifically talking right now about the rescinding of blood with Ceres, because Kingfisher said it was supposed to be like embarrassing or even cruel of Tal to do that to Ceres, just like in vampire, I don't know. like,
Culture or whatever.
culture. Yeah, that's the word. Thank you. So then I was like, oh, but why would he do that? You know, he must have some meaning. Like, I trust him completely. And then we get to like the end of this section with Tal, and I'm like, okay, I don't know what my feelings are. I'm just surprised. And I don't know. I still feel like that specifically was like the jaw drop for me, specifically that it was Tal. Not that something happened, but just that he had that motivation or whatever. And obviously we'll get to those specifics near the end of this section, but I want to trust Tal. I like him.
What was his reasoning again for wanting to do the rescinding of the blood?
He didn't want people thinking that he controlled her as queen.
Yeah.
That's what he
So,
said,
like-
but I thought after the whole thing was that his bloodline wouldn't die like Malcolm's bloodline was dying in this whole poison thing that he did, because now she's not part of his bloodline, and it like saved her or whatever.
Wait, what?
Because like the magic that was put out wasn't just towards like the people who drank it. It was towards all of Malcolm's bloodline.
That's right.
You know, like,
okay.
and so if Tal drank it, then it would have gone to all of his bloodline, which would have been Ceres.
Yeah.
And so it was
Okay.
supposed to be like he was saving her or whatever.
Okay.
He
That
said
makes
it
more
was
sense.
because of
Yes.
whatever, but
Okay, because I just, as we were talking through it again, I was like, why would he have gone through all of that if he thought he was going to die in like 2 hours? Because then him dying would have severed the bond as well. But that
his
makes
whole
sense.
pyramid scheme would have fallen apart if the top does. It just all comes crumbling down.
His MLM would have failed. Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes me wonder if like his initial ask to do that, if that was initially his idea, or if he and Ishabal had already gotten that plan together. Because he asked her about that a while ago.
Yeah.
I mean, he did it with Foley way long time ago, like hundreds of
That's
years
true.
ago, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Ishabal said that she needed like a reason to stay at college. So this
yeah.
would have been book 1 she was scheming.
Yeah. So it is really interesting since he did it with Foley so long ago, and maybe he just didn't care about Foley. He just didn't want, I don't know. Yeah.
If he was like enthralled by Malcolm, could Malcolm have used that bond to influence Tal, like influencing Foley? Like, does it carry down like that? And maybe that was just his way.
Command to command someone. Perhaps.
Yeah. Maybe that was Tal's way of protecting Foley at the time because he didn't trust Malcolm.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
My next note is referencing, is it Kevin?
Kevin. Mm-hmm.
Kevin.
I thought they said
When,
Kevin the first time in the audiobook, and I was like, Kevin? Oh, that's such a normal name. He's going to die.
Hey, Kevin.
He already did.
He requests to be made Keeper of Warfare, and this is the first petition that we get, so we get a little bit more information, and we hear him talk through all his qualifications. It obviously didn't happen, but Keeper of Warfare is kind of dope. I was like, I kind of like this title. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not
I
as
like
cool
that
as
the people
Keeper
got
of
to like
Pain.
submit their own, like name or whatever, or job description.
Yeah, Keeper of
Like,
whatever.
I thought that was really interesting. But also, we don't know what Foley's is. We just know he is a Lord of
Yeah.
Midnight, but he's not Keeper of something that we
Yep.
know of yet. So that, I don't know if he has to have that title, but I don't know.
Yeah.
But in this moment with Cavan, we find out from Kingfisher that he was like surprised this guy had been around all this time and was like working for Malcolm as far as like leading the Horde and all the stuff he did. And that Kingfisher was like, I guess, shocked that he didn't think, oh yeah, all those guys that I just kind of left there got picked up by Malcolm. Never would have given that a thought. And I'm like, how? Like, how did that never cross your mind? That like that wasn't happening, especially it happened with Foley, like at the Ajun Gate. I don't know. That just like really surprised me from Kingfisher. I felt like that was a huge miss in the hundreds of years you've been fighting this fight.
I thought the same thing.
But
I was like, really?
Huh.
Never thought about it.
yeah.
Yeah. That's a great question. Okay, so Saris notices that Ibanwe has a face full of tattoos, quote, runes to be precise. They were dead runes, though, long inactive, barren of magic, and turned ash gray by time. It was a shield. Once upon a time, this female had been an alchemist. So are alchemists no longer alchemists if they're turned, or did something happen to, like, make her runes dead? I don't understand how this works, because then later Kingfisher says that Algat used to be a witch. Then, like, if you thought she was intimidating as a vampire, like, you don't want to see her now as a witch. So I'm curious about that, because it seemed like you could be Fae and an alchemist, but I guess you can't be a vampire and an alchemist, but Saris can.
Because she's half.
But not full. Like, if it's because she's half, is she really considered
halfsies.
undead or whatever?
Yeah.
Or is it just because this person has gone so long without access to Quicksilver or any of that other stuff that it's just died out without practice, like it hasn't been allowed or whatever?
Interesting.
I wonder if feeding for so long has an effect on that too.
It's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, because I just am wondering now if Ibanwe did, accept the vial and turn back to Fae. Like, could these runes be reactivated, and could she be like a super powerful alchemist or something?
I also don't understand how they're like, we know nothing about the alchemists and there's no books anywhere. And this one guy maybe knows about them. So let's get him to be our friend. And oh yeah, this lady used to be one, but whatever. Move on. And I'm
Covered in runes.
she's literally right there. Why are we not asking her everything?
Is it possible
I don't
that,
get it.
as she's a vampire, It's been a long time. People, it's been so long, maybe other vampires are like, I don't even know what those runes are or whatever. But
yeah.
it could be possible that she was put under a command to forget it. Like, you don't know this any longer.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if Ceres is seeing someone for the first time and is like, oh, clearly they were an alchemist, and then like doesn't say anything, like, should we ask her? And then someone can inform her that way. Like, it's just brushed over.
Ceres has also seen it, but I do agree. She should be asking questions, but FMCs don't do that, so move on.
Oh, yeah. Silly of me. Oh, my gosh. Okay, well, we get this, like, insanely epic moment with Zovina and Ceres, where Zovina kind of comes at her all attitude-y, whatever, and it says, Ceres didn't rise from her seat, didn't even frown as she flicked her hand at the table to the right, and a candelabra, which had been crowned with 8 shivering points of even light, flew from the snow-white tablecloth and twisted in midair. It formed the length of metal 2 feet long and struck Zovina from behind. And then it talks about how it, like, just trapped her from all, like, her hands and her feet and all this stuff, and her neck even. And it's just... Yeah, it's just okay, Kyle. It was just really impressive magic because we don't see Ceres use a lot of magic outside of like just the Quicksilver stuff. And now in this one interaction, she like cut out sound when she's talking with Foley later, that they can just have a one-on conversation. We see this cool moment with the magic here, and it's just very impressive all around from Ceres, and I would love to see more of that.
Yeah.
And just her be totally BA. But then she ends up like going over there and collects a chair from one of the tables and like scrapes it loudly across the floor, all dramatic, over to where Zovina was. And it says she sat next to the prone woman, sat down and kicked her feet up and rested her heels on the female's back. I was like, okay, Ceres. Oh my gosh. And then she just stays there for the rest of the meeting and just makes Zovina stay there. I was like, well, that's the way to show dominance. Like, that was it. Good job, lady.
This is going to be such a funny story to tell during her toast at Hayden and Zovina's wedding.
Oh my God. Absolutely. That'll be funny.
And yeah, toward the end of this, before Foley comes out, I had totally forgotten about Foley because I feel like we hadn't seen him for like a little bit. So I was freaking out for a second that like Rin was going to show up as a vampire or something like that. And it was going to be like this huge surprise. And then I was like, oh, duh, Foley. Like, obviously we were just talking about that all last episode. So for sure.
Yeah, I'm excited because I called that one.
Yep.
You did. You super called that. Chapter 39, Keeper of Secrets, Ceres. People were throwing things at Foley, and in Ceres's POV it says pieces of food, cutlery, a shoe, and I highlighted this and wrote, who throws a shoe, honestly?
I am literally so proud of this reference. She has the Austin Powers gif in our notes, and I was just so proud.
Thank you. Thank you.
I also like
appreciate that.
I really appreciated the line just after it too, where she's like, and then they threw a plate, and that's where I drew the line. I was mad until now.
Cutlery's okay.
China.
Oh my gosh. And then also in Ceres's POV, Algat, she says, has been notably missing from the hall until now, like until Foley comes in. And I wrote, where the F has this bitch been? But like, actually, we've been talking about that since the last episode. Like, where's she been?
Well, and she tries to like kick the cat and stuff. She's like the literal worst in this little section. She's just horrible. But what I found the most interesting of the whole interaction with Algat is that she attempted to read or get into Ceres's mind after being commanded by Ceres never to do that again. So has Algat sworn to the throne? Like, I know she's there arguing that Foley can't do that because he's not sworn to the throne. So, like, it would be very hypocritical of her in that moment. But how else would she be able to break that command if she herself hasn't done that?
Is she a keeper?
Yeah, she's one of the...
Okay, that's what I thought. I thought they said that every
She's one of
keeper
the Lords
was,
of
except
Midnight.
for the Hagrax or whatever.
Hagrax.
Hagrax. I said hag because I was thinking witch. Because she's a witch. She's a hag.
She's a witch. Yeah,
But I was
she's
like,
the
no,
Hagrax. He's
I
the
didn't know.
Hazrax.
I didn't know if that would play into it at all, or like.
Well, she's the one saying it in
Yeah.
this moment. She's also the one trying to get into Ceres's mind after being commanded not to. So, like,
Yeah.
she could just be lying.
Do you think she knew
I don't know.
about Tal's mark, with it being a witch mark and she being a witch, if she was just like, something's going down.
And she,
Interesting.
yeah,
maybe.
I would think so.
She was maybe in on it.
I mean, you just said that everybody could have forgot about somebody being a
That's true. Maybe she doesn't remember how to
alchemist,
write
and
witch
she's been
anymore.
around for a bajillion years. But I would assume I think everybody still remembers all the things. So, personally.
Algat is
But I
the
don't know.
keeper of records.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Although-
Library.
Now I'm confused. The Hazrax
Careful
is the
Googling.
keeper of silence.
Secrets, silence, yeah.
Silence, or secrets is Tau.
Yeah.
Aerith was keeper of the even light.
Hard to keep track of when everyone just makes up their job title.
I know. Zovina is keeper of missives.
Mrs.
I wonder if this is a typo then, because there's a spot in this chapter that says the Lord of Revels let out a shriek.
Well, I think you could be the keeper of one thing and a lord of another.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
I don't know.
But it's not. Revels isn't listed anywhere else in the book. This is the only mention of it. So I was assuming, because I didn't know who it was in this instance, that we knew who the keeper of Revels was, or the Lord of Revels was already. But I don't. So
I don't either.
I did not put that in the pronunciation guide because I thought we already knew who that was. But apparently we do not.
I would have to believe it's Zovina because it's in the same sentence
I
that
get-
it says
yeah.
the Lord of Revels let out a shriek as her feet were bound or whatever.
Oh, that's
so.
true. Weird.
And she does seem to like to revel.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay.
Lord of the Revels, Lord of the Dance, Lord of the Flies,
Continue.
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings.
Okay. I wasn't sure if you were going to keep going.
I tried, but I'm empty.
Okay, so this whole time I've been obsessing over the even light and trying to figure out what the heck is going on. And this whole time it's the spirit of the gods. When Fisher said that, I literally wrote in all caps, "Excuse me?" But then this whole chapter, I kept thinking we were going to get some kind of gods interaction. Like I kept thinking something was about to happen where, like, because the gods haven't been able to see Ceres this whole time, and now suddenly the even light, the spirit of the gods, is like above everybody's heads and they're all, reveling. I thought we were going to get something, and then nothing happened. And now I'm like, is the even light even important? Is it even light? I don't know.
That was
Sent me
good.
into a spiral. Thank you.
I just love that we are always on God's Watch, and then we've been trying to figure out even light, and we've accidentally been on even light God's Watch like this whole time.
Yes.
We're calling out every time even light is there, but it's all been a God watch, maybe. I don't know.
If I were a god, though, I would totally want people to make glow sticks out of my spirit. I think that's fun.
And
But
you
also,
can
if-
quote her on it.
That's recorded. That's going to live forever on the internet.
That's the thing. But for real, if it is like somehow the gods maybe keeping an eye on things or whatever, they would be in every room, in every
Yeah.
place. Like, if
And even in
that's
Zilvarin.
their weird way to be omniscient, just
Yeah.
to be all around or whatever, and omnipresent.
And so, to John's theory about the even light having something to do with Madra keeping herself like immortal or sustained or powerful, that's also interesting, knowing that that's what it is.
The gods, yeah.
Yeah. My next note is not as serious, but it's just casually mentioned in Ceres's POV how Carrion had bulked loudly when she told him he couldn't come to the ball. And that made me so sad for him. He was so excited to get dressed up. I wanted to read about his outfit. And he didn't even get to go. He's in his room with his plants.
And Hayden.
Too bad.
Freaking Hayden.
Oh,
He's baby.
poor guy.
Probably Danya, too, at some point.
Shut up, Kyle.
Good point.
If he can't go to the ball, he could take her to him.
No.
Yay!
Heyo.
Okay. Oh, wow, Kyle.
Nice.
Thank you.
That was-
All right. Next note here, Fisher is explaining that dancing is like fighting or effing, and he prides himself in both. Ceres asks if he has a lot of practice in these arenas, and he says, well, I've impaled quite a few people on the end of my sword, and I've lost count of how many battles I've fought in. And I wrote, haha, well played. This is great.
Good one.
I appreciated the joke. This is good.
My gosh. Well, Kingfisher takes her over to the side to look at the plant. What's the plant called? Widow's breath? Widow's bane?
Yeah.
Widow.
Widow's breath.
Widow something.
Tits McGee. That wasn't it, was it?
I don't think so.
I was about to say banana breath because of the story Kyle was just telling us before we started. Actually, it is Viridius.
What was the other name for it?
Close.
No.
So close.
Dang it.
Same
Otherwise
other
known
people-
as
it's
Tits
Widow's
McGee.
Bane.
Widow's Bane. Thank you. I was right on the Widow's part.
John was pretty close too.
Listen, carrion makes him come to life, right?
Okay. Gross. Okay. Okay, everyone. So
Okay.
he takes her over to look at this plant, and it said, "Oh my god, I can't even." And it said, "I looked up at the hanging, squinting at the back. Something is depicted. What? Let me start all that over."
Were they winking at him?
Bacchanalia.
Bacchanalia too.
Sarah
Buy our
said-
dinner first.
Guys, stop. It said, "I looked up at the hanging, squinting at the bacchanalia it depicted." And she says, "What's that male doing to the goat?" And he said, "Ignore the goat. Look here." And I'm like, wait, do I want to know what's happening to the goat? But I'm just going to not open that up to the floor. We're just going to
Wow.
continue on. I don't trust you guys after this last conversation. And then it says, "Soon most of the vampires in the hall were writhing on the ground, and in the midst of them all stood Taladeus, towering over them like some silver-haired harbinger of death. 'Brothers and sisters,' he cried, 'your judgment has come for you at last.'" And my jaw was on the floor. Like, I just felt like this came out of completely, like, out of nowhere. And like I said, I expected something to happen at the party, and obviously we get these like little hints from Kingfisher that Tal was kind of up to something, but I feel like Tal's always up to something, and we've seen that so many times, and it's not actually been anything yet. So I don't know, I was not expecting this at all. But he continues on and says, well, like, he finally like drinks the poison and everything, and like his last thing to Saracen Kingfisher said, "I made the hard choice so that neither of you would have to. This was my final act as a Lord of Midnight. Now I'll go and pay for the sins I have committed." And so, like, I don't know. I just feel like Tal was clearly enjoying his position the last time we saw him.
Ew.
Ten Hut. And I just felt like this was really random to me because, I don't know, like, he's literally in charge of everything, and he's got so much control and power over the place. And I don't know. I feel like we've gotten just little glimpses of his position, but not really of him, like, hating it since the Maze POV, but that was under Malcolm. So I guess I just wasn't expecting him to, like, hate it that much that he was willing to literally commit suicide and kill a bajillion other people at the same time.
Not to be like super dark about it, but oftentimes nobody sees the signs. So like, he's probably just doing whatever he wanted before he knew what he was going to do.
Yeah, and I wonder how much guilt he had to be harboring too for all the things that he did while enthralled to Malcolm. Like, because we don't know. Like, it would be interesting to have like a Tal POV at some point or something. I mean, we've gotten little glimpses, but like, he was not in control of any of his actions for centuries. I don't know how long he's been.
Right.
Yeah.
So now having the free will, but also still all the memories of the things that he did before, I don't know if that would have been a huge part of that.
And I mean, sort of speaking to Lord, like him enjoying his life, if it could be that this is the first time he's even been able to do that in so long, and he's literally trying to find what will bring him happiness, getting a tavern, getting drunk, having sex with all sorts of ladies and stuff like that. He could have just been trying literally anything to feel anything.
Oh, Tal.
I know. That's sad.
Yeah, and he says, right before he kind of like blacks out and starts seizing, he says, "Tell Everlane I'm sorry." And he falls to the ground and starts to shake, and he convulses. And so before we kind of find out, like this, I was still like really confused as to what happening. Like even him going through like his speech, I was just like, what the hell's going on? Like, what is this? What's going on? So I wrote, like, is this supposed to turn them back into Fae? Which I guess I was right about that. So that was like very surprising. But like, I was also very surprised that he seems to, well, I was surprised, but also kind of like, well, I guess there was really no way for us to know that he was so, like, he seemed to have such a hard bent view on like what to do in this situation, or like to go down this road. But I guess like if he was always kind of at Malcolm's beck and call, then he may have just spent this time being in his own freedom and then being like, you know what? All these creatures just suck. Like, we need to go back to the way we were, blah, blah, blah. So he got it in his head to do this. And maybe we come to find out in the future that Ishabal had some influence on him in some way and kind of talked him into possibly doing it, because it seemed like this may have kind of been her idea, possibly. Because this is kind of what they did in the first place when they like offered the cure like way back in the day. And then Malcolm didn't take it. Yeah. So like they said, they've been trying to find a way to do this again, basically.
And kudos where it's due, he did find a way for those who wanted to still live with the guilt to do so, because he could have easily just gone to every vampire above everyone else and had like a secret meeting and done it to like the 5 or 6 of them, and then every other vampire dies anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
But he sort of gave a direct choice to everyone who was at least present, which I would think is most of Amontraeth for that ball.
Well, and the high Fae, or the high vampires, I mean.
True.
I wonder if what did they say about the love potions? Because Finrod never used it on Edina, right? But if witches were capable of making something like a love potion, could they make something like, could Ishabal have given Tal something that would have almost enthralled him to her in a sense, or put him under her influence?
That's true. I was going to say, maybe that was like her test or her challenge or something that she just went through, for all we know. I think
it sounded like
also,
she didn't really have to go through it, because she brought back this news of what she did or what she was doing, and then came back with the title.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Like, it almost sounded like she basically skipped the trial, and she just went straight to getting this little promotion because she did something that the other witches hadn't been able to do for so long.
Which I would guess is this, but maybe not.
Okay, interesting.
Do you think that Ishabal was the person in the cloak at the tavern that Tal was meeting with?
Oh.
Because I feel like that would make sense.
Oh.
Only because that's the only person we know Tal was scheming with, apparently.
Yeah.
I would want to go back and like read the description of even just the height of the person and stuff to see if stuff matches, but...
Well, let's do it. They were in a cloak. Like, I don't think we even got their hair color or anything.
Yeah.
Well,
Right?
yeah, but that's
Did
what I'm
it say
saying.
anything
like,
about like
maybe
their
it just...
heart beating or not beating or something? Because Saris was still very attuned to
true.
that sort of thing when she was meeting people. Their smell.
What was that chapter
Because if
called?
they later describe her smell, we can correlate.
Well, Tal had like put a barrier over them of some sort, so maybe that would have blocked that. Or maybe
that's right.
And
he
the
did.
sound, so it would have also
And
blocked the
sound, too,
heartbeat.
Yeah, it says, a dark figure in a cloak stood beside him, angled toward the exit, their hood drawn up to conceal their features. So it doesn't even say like male or female, I don't think.
Or how tall or anything. Yeah.
And he says, wait there, Lore, you're covered in blood and not fit for polite company. Wait, was he talking to Lorith?
Yeah, I think he's talking to Lorith. I don't
And
think
he
was
called
ever
him
talking
Lore.
to her.
Okay. And then Taladeus spoke quickly to the stranger in the cloak, and she couldn't make out a word, like it was a soundproof shield. And the stranger just nodded and left. So we don't...
I feel like it makes sense it's Ishabal, only because of this, but
yeah,
I don't know.
that could totally be. Interesting. Okay. Really, the last note that I had from this section was I wanted to know why, if Taladeus thought these were his last words, they were tell Everlane I'm sorry. Because I know, like, he left her at the altar or whatever, right, for Zovina. But, like, hasn't it been a super long time since that happened?
Yeah, but he was the one holding her across the Darn. So it could have been whatever happened with Malcolm. It could be whatever situation she's in. It could be whatever, like, is currently going on with her, whatever. If Malcolm's really inside or whatever. All that stuff.
So did
Like, that's Horcruxed.
what happened with Everlane again? Did Taladeus, like turn her? Because then wouldn't she be in danger?
No, I think
No,
it's
he didn't.
Malcolm.
No,
He was
Malcolm
just
did.
the one physically
Okay.
holding her across the way.
Okay.
Pretty sure. And was like kind of communicating that whole situation.
Interesting. Okay. I feel like there may have been something more there. Maybe they had a conversation we just don't know about, like off page or something.
Right.
So that brings us to chapter 40, which is Judgment. And this is the one that starts in Saris's POV and then swaps to Kingfisher. In her POV, it says, Tal's body trembled violently. His eyes were rolled back into his head. His pale skin was splattered with blood. His beautiful dove gray suit ruined. And I wrote, not the suit. We're like, always so
Shame.
dramatic about the velvet. And his dove gray suit sounds beautiful. Anyway,
He
Fisher
was the only one who could pull off that color.
with
Well,
the silver
Yanika
hair.
probably tailored it for him.
Probably.
Yeah,
Yanika's
Poor
in the corner like,
Yanika.
oh my god.
All my hard work. Now I'm just picturing her as like Edna mode.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Well, and I think
Yeah.
it said like the blood was like an inch thick, like across the ground. So it's like all their
Yeah.
outfits, the dresses, everything is just completely wrecked.
So sad.
Ruined,
You would
darling,
think-
ruined.
You would think that after like 200 years in Amontria that you would just make all the clothes like blood proof somehow.
Yeah,
You
some
know?
magic blood
Yeah.
proof. Yeah.
I don't know. So Fisher is assuming that Algat drank from a vial and is not a high blood anymore. And this is where he says, if you thought she was bad as a vampire, you definitely do not want to run into her as a witch. And I wrote, yay, more witches. Mostly just because I want to know more about them. And we don't know if Algat's actually evil or not, because it sounds like they could be completely different people once they're turned. Hello, little baby. Minnie keeps trying to walk up into my armpit as I'm talking, for those who are not watching on YouTube. And then, yeah, I was really shocked here. I don't think I put together immediately that literally everyone in Amontreath was either dead or like where it says here, disoriented Fae wandering the streets, not knowing what to do or where to go. And I wasn't putting together that was not just the people in Amontreath, but also just like all of Sanisroth is absolutely wild. Oh my gosh, Minnie. In Ceres's POV, it says, my head was spinning and Zovina's relentless sobbing made it impossible to think. And I wrote, okay, now Zovina and Hayden are definitely going to fall in love because she's no longer a vampire.
I'm glad you're finally on board.
I'm fine with them.
Master.
Welcome.
That's fine.
Welcome to the ship.
I think she's going to be more or less insufferable now.
Not a
I don't know.
clue.
Right now, she's just crying the whole time.
Yeah,
which
true.
like relatable. So maybe she'll be great.
Oh my gosh. And then this was just where the Kingfisher like POV switched. And I just thought that was really odd to switch POV in the middle of the
Super
chapter. Because
Yeah.
is that the only time that's happened? I think this is it.
I think so.
Yeah, I think so too.
Seems odd. Yeah.
Well, yeah, speaking of Zovina, it says she hadn't stopped wailing, was verging on hysteria, hadn't even seemed to notice when I'd used my magic to remove the blood from her dress. And like just her attitude and demeanor obviously seemed to be like way more tamed down. Like I know there's a certain shock value I'm sure that they were going through after this happened. But like I wrote, I don't understand. Like apparently when she turned into a vamp, she became a total bitch. Like and she's back to normal. Like what happened here?
I mean, she lost like all of her connections, all of her potential magic or vampire-y powers.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So
There's
like
like
maybe
so
it's
much, but
literally just the shock factor of what they're
Yeah.
going through.
Now
But-
she's just a basic bitch.
yeah, that's right. And then my next note is they're back in Kalish. So they've taken Zovina with them back to Kalish, and Ishabal is obviously with them. They've kind of gone to their separate rooms. Fisher and Ceres are with Taylena and Maynir, and they're like describing kind of what happened. And it says, Carrion hurried into the dining room, carrying a small blue pot full of dirt and a sharp dagger clamped between his teeth. And I just wrote, what the hell is this man up to? Like every time, bro. It's like, what is going on?
I highlighted this and wrote, what happened to his plant? Because it just said it was a pot of dirt.
Oh, a pot, yeah.
yeah,
Pot
I got a jar of dirt.
So I'm wondering if that's the one that he went to go show Ceres in the room, because he said if
makes
he
sense.
keeps talking, it just like literally sprouts from a seed. I wonder if that's the specific one that
Yeah,
just started blooming.
Was this where he said he was just getting like clippings for his plants or something? Like he was just going to
Yeah,
repot
something
a
like
clipping
that,
or something.
yeah.
But also just hilarious narration from Anthony Palmini again in this moment when Carrion says, I missed something. I definitely missed something. And he has the dagger in his mouth. And it's just the way that he narrates that is so good.
Was great. I love that Kingfisher is putting it together that Carrion needs to know what the heck is going on. Like if Carrion's about to become king of like literally of Kingfisher, like his king, he needs to like train this dude or like something needs to happen. So Kingfisher says in his POV, but certain thoughts had started to form in the back of my mind. Thoughts that couldn't be ignored forever. One day, very soon, we are going to have to think about the Yavalian throne, and Swift wouldn't be any less of a buffoon if I kept treating him like one. And so he says, sit down, Carrion. And then Carrion tries to get out of it or whatever. And he's like, no, sit down, Carrion. And Carrion's like, you want me to stay? You missed me. Carrion, you're not helping your case there with Kingfisher, but
So
I
cute.
just love them.
The best.
Well, speaking of somebody not helping their case, it's Kingfisher. During this section, he was getting real mad at everybody, basically. And I think he was talking directly to Ishabal, saying, you put my mate in danger. And then a little conversation happens, and he's still over there just seething and boiling in it. And he says, again, you put my mate in danger. And I just be like, dude, chill out. She's the queen of an entire court of vampires who wanted to kill her in a world slowly being consumed by a multiversal killing rot that you dragged her into, by the way. So maybe just chill out. I'm sick of it. It's like she didn't put her into any danger. She's already in it.
Fair.
Anyway.
Fair.
Brief
But my next note was just, Ishabal, you evil mastermind. This is like, I don't know. I was like so excited about this reveal.
Oh my gosh. I was shocked. I was hurt. She betrayed
Yeah.
my trust.
But did she?
Because
We don't know.
I don't know. Because like with Tal, at least I was like, we've all had conversations of like, oh, maybe not. I don't know. You know, all these things. But like with her, we've all just loved her. And she's immediately been on our side. And then she just, I don't know. I don't know.
She do be deceiving. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I just feel like we know nothing. We know nothing about the witches. We know nothing about their history or even this like trial that she was supposed to be going through or like any of this. And I want to know more about it because I don't know if she's actually a villain or not. But even if she is a villain, I still really love her.
Well, and I want to know if all the witches are like behind this. I know that Ishabal says that like the rest of the witches don't know what she was up to. Like Kingfisher tries to call her out on that and she acts scared that he's going to go back and tell the like leaders of the clans or whatever what Ishabal did. But I kind of feel like they're all in on it and it's not like just Ishabal, I guess. And Ishabal's almost trying to protect that the witches are also against all of them. And the fact that she's like, you guys can't come to the witches' land. Like you guys can't go there. You know, it's like she's trying to keep them all separate still. I just kind of feel like they're all in on it. Like they're all,
I'm so surprised.
I don't want to say
that, like,
evil, but like just against this current situation or whatever.
I'm just surprised that are we not supposed to be like on her side? Like that was the right move to get rid of all the vampires. Like I don't understand why everyone's like, oh no. Like Kingfisher's been there the whole time trying to kill vampires, and all of a sudden he's like, "How dare you?" And then he's like, "Well, I'm gonna go tell your mom." Like, what a little.
Well, I think the whole point to that was that it sounded like the witches that was like a common goal. Like they wanted that to happen, but she lied about the way that it happened. Like I think it sounded like she told her superiors
she did it with
that
dark magic.
Yes, that she told her superiors that she came and like convinced them all to like do this, make this decision or whatever. And that's why they made her prioress. But then that's what Kingfisher was pointing out, that like, should we, go and have a chat with them about that? Because Algat was, excommunicated from her clan or whatever for the same reason.
Gotcha. Well, to that, I say boo freaking who. So get over it, Kingfisher. Power is only as evil as the hands that hold it. So get over it.
Oh my God, Kyle.
I do. I'm with you though. I feel like that. Sorry.
I'm happy about it. Good job, Ishabal.
I feel like it's probably not as bad as they're making it sound right now.
I think they're gonna wake up tomorrow and be like, actually, yeah.
I just wish they would have stayed and like seen the aftermath. Because now it seems like they're stuck in some other situation and we won't get to go back there
And like, is anybody helping them?
anytime soon or this.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I would hope that the disoriented Fae become oriented and just like make that a new home. Like just it's yours now. Clean it up. Amatreus is yours.
Yeah.
It just is the horde of feeders still out there and now they're unattended or whatever it said. So
Who knows?
Okay, well, in this conversation with Kingfisher and Ishabal, Kingfisher says, your blood is a curse to all vampires. And I'm like, her blood? like Isha balls, or witch blood specifically is a curse to all the vampires?
Hers.
Because Algat
Witch blood.
turned into a vampire, right? I don't know.
I don't
guess
know.
she
Did
drank
it ever
someone
say she
else's
was
vampire.
explicitly a... Oh, yeah, she was a vampire because she said if you didn't like her as one, yeah. So
Yeah.
But she was from a different clan, and I thought that the Balkhitter clan specifically was part of the like cure for the blood curse.
Yeah, it mentioned that they were like
yeah.
the main clan that
Created
did it
it
or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
wonder why.
Okay. So it would be all of the Balkhitters, not
The
just
Balkhitters, yeah. And Algat was from a different, the
those
Kinross.
kidders.
I'm just bow kidding.
Kid knows vows.
Ah. Wait a minute.
Let's go to like a open mic night with Joshin and the Balkhitters. It'd be hilarious.
Joshin and the bow kidders. Come to a stage near you.
They're an improv group.
It's like Josie and the Pussycats doll. Joshin and the bow
Pussycat
kidders.
dolls. Oh my gosh. Okay, so when they get to Tal's room and he's on fire, Taylena says, Zareth, save us. And then the Hazrax ends up gifting Saris with this like Control Z rune. So this is my God's Watch because I'm not sure if Zareth was actually involved, but I thought that this was an interesting plea for Taylena to make. I don't think I've heard anyone like call upon Zareth to save them. Most people are like, no, he's bad. Like, rub his toe so he looks the other way.
Maybe she's just saying like this situation is so crazy he must have caused it. So
Oh,
she's like
'cause it's
calling out to him
chaos.
to like save us from your absolute insanity you have left us with or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I just keep thinking about John saying that the Hazarax could be like a god of some kind. I don't know. Like, is the Hazarax actually Zareth? Because he's like, this rune is my name, but you haven't actually figured it out, but you're close. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, but I don't think Zareth would be to undo.
No,
If
I
anything,
guess not.
Zareth does
It's just a
more.
continuation.
Do
of the
more.
chaos.
Yeah.
Do more.
I do think that if the Hazrax was a god, it would not be Zareth too, because Zareth has Kingfisher as his champion. And I feel like if you have Kingfisher as your champion directly involved with that person, you're not going to also be like, oh, I should get involved too. Like, supposedly your champion would take care of everything you need.
True.
True.
And he
So
could
that means
supposedly
that
still see Fisher.
Saris is the Hazrax champion.
I don't know. I need more information about all of this, all of it ever in my lifetime. Taylena said that the dark magic on Tal would eventually open up a gateway to the realm from where all dark magic hails, to the demon realm. I will not say its name. And I wrote, ooh, now we're talking. I want to know the name. Say it.
I thought we were going to the demon realm.
Yeah, I
was
thought so too.
excited.
Me too.
That it was like going to actually open up, and that was it.
Yeah.
Disappointed it's not.
I feel like it would make sense at some point with just the implications of the Quicksilver itself, and that's what the whole series seems to be centered around. Like, you have the ability to go to any realm at any point in time, and we're staying here for now.
I'll only go home or to my dream sex cabin. Thank you very much.
And we're at the end of the second book out of 3, so yeah, I agree that I thought we'd be going more, but
Maybe. Got some chaotic 100 pages left.
yeah, for real. Okay, so the last note of this chapter says, hell was coming, hell was here. But then Saris was leaning over Tal's flaming body, and she was pressing her hands to his chest. Her whole right arm was illuminated brilliant white blue. In the space between heartbeats, where my seized lungs tried and failed to take a breath, the glowing filaments of Ishabal's spell fell apart, and the fires of hell went out. And that's where I was very confused. I was like, oh, wait, what? I was just like reading one paragraph, and I just feel like that keeps happening where stuff just keeps happening completely out of left field, and it takes me a very long time to, like, I don't know, reread it or figure it out, or I'm just still confused, and I'm just like, okay, sure, I guess that happened.
I
And
have
moving on.
a note on that very thing later where I do feel like a lot of it is like, huh? Oh, never mind. Huh? Oh, never mind. Oh, and they solved it.
Yeah, or we'll come back to it later. I don't know.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is literally the conversation that I had with Connor like a couple days ago.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think part of
it's
it
hard to
is-
connect with right now for me.
Yes.
I really
Yeah,
struggled
same.
through this section.
I feel like part of it is the dual POV in this book compared to the first one, where like even if there were some cliffhanger chapter endings in book one, we were all in her POV, so we were following whatever happened next. And this one, it's like little teaser cliffhanger at the end of the chapter, and then we go back to somebody else doing something different. Or
yeah, but
I
when
don't
we
know.
pick up with the next person, it's not like we pick up in the exact same spot as our little teaser.
Right.
Like it's
Exactly.
just jumps somewhere else.
Yeah, that's what I
and
mean. Yeah.
I still would want those two POVs. It can switch between them, but I want them to pick up that their stories still make sense if I read them individually by itself. And I don't feel like it's always like that.
Yeah.
I meant it more in the sense of like we ended last section with Archer, and then we're just like, we're back, he's fine and dancing. Or like, they're gonna open a gate to hell. Don't worry, I'll touch his chest. We're done. I'm like, okay, so are there any stakes in this story at all?
Right,
Or is there just gonna be
But
like an
even with the
instant solution?
vampires, it's like, oh, now they're all Fae, but we're gonna leave there and not figure out anything.
Yeah.
Just like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just a lot of cliffhangers.
Yeah.
And even in this moment, like I get that it's Kingfisher's POV, and so he is just like narrating what he sees of Saris. But then later, when the Hazrax does come and it is Saris's POV, we don't get any more descriptions of the same feeling that she has apparently felt here, or like a flashback to this moment to understand Saris's POV in that moment a little bit better. Like it's still just kind of skirted over.
That's why I was even more confused about why she chose this chapter to switch POV right in the middle of it. Because this was a Saris POV
that's
chapter.
true.
It could have stayed her POV and described that moment of feeling like tugged toward him, like she didn't have control of her body, or like,
Yeah, good point.
There must have been a good reason for that, but I just am, at this moment, have no idea what it was. Chapter 41 is called Processing. This is back in Saris's POV. We are back in Dreamland, and Fisher is explaining this place in Ballard. This was like one of his favorite places when he was little, but I feel like all of these dream places are connected to Edina as well in some way. So I still am not sure if these dream locations are Fisher's doing somehow in his subconscious. I feel like it's more connected to Edina, especially with the first one being like a story specifically about Edina and Finran. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with that. I also noticed that like I don't think Onyx is in this one. And so that ruins my Onyx is creating the dream spaces theory. So
Unless he's just sleeping in a wardrobe.
he might be. He's always sleeping. He's just a sleepy little guy.
He's a sleepy boy. This is where there's a mention of Fisher's tattooed chest here, and I still want to know what tattoo he got, like below his collarbone, that Saris was like, I'm just going to let him find that later, but has he not noticed it yet? Are we never going to get to know what it is? Put that on the list of questions.
4 for 4 deal. Wendy's piggy bag.
Leave in the comments what you think Kingfisher's tattoo says. Spoiler free, please.
If you could choose his tattoo below his collarbone. I love the Baconator, though. That's a good one. But then he clenches his jaw, so cheers.
Ah, dang it. I just thought we haven't drank in a while. I took a big old drink.
So Carrion says, this is obviously after they've left the dream sex cabin. Carrion says to Saris, do you think you'll be able to turn invisible at some point? If I could have access to magic, I would definitely opt for invisibility. And I was like, LOL, you probably can already do this. Quit playing, Carrion.
I think it's so funny that you had a note like that, because I had a really similar note too. In like the very next little section where it says, aren't you tired? How the hell are you running on so little sleep? And it says, Carrion waved off my concern. Oh, centuries of debauchery and general delinquency. Hey, seriously, where are you going? I could use her help with something. And I wrote, bro probably doesn't even need sleep. Like he's got so much random magic and powers. Like,
Yes. I need to know what's going on. I need Carrion's monologue.
it would be wild if he was actually able to be invisible. And he's been
Yeah.
like...
And he was at the ball in a dope outfit.
Nice.
Because he would have dressed up even if nobody was going to see him.
100%. 1,000%. He would have probably tried to like sleep with some vampire or something. I don't even know.
Tried.
As an invisible being.
I mean, he would have like been visible to someone somewhere.
I don't know. He probably, if anybody could pull that off, I feel like it would be Carrion.
To sleep with someone
Pull
while
off
invisible.
being invisible? Probably the easiest look to pull off.
Saying to sleep with someone while invisible. Okay, well, my next note is that I know we just talked about Onyx, but I kind of do think something's going on with him sleeping everywhere. Or it's just supposed to be cute little stuff. I just think it happens too much for it to not be something. But he is cute. I don't know. But he's sleeping in a wardrobe. And then asking, she's like, Carrion, why do you have all these books? Like, you can read in the library. And his response is, not naked, I can't. And my note was, PSA to anyone who borrows books from the library, make sure you wash your hands after reading your books. Putting that out there.
Probably safe. Yeah.
And then I'm just really proud of Carrion in general for researching like Avelia, the king, like the courts, literally any information he can find. Just go off King, our future king. All hail King Carrion.
King Carrion. That has a nice ring to it.
I'm here for it.
Although I know that's not his real name, but still. Okay. I had
It's the
some
only one he
quotes
knows.
pulled up. That's true. That is true. I have some quotes pulled up about my next note, but I see Kyle's note as well. So I would like to talk about the plant in Carrion's room. And my question was, is this the same plant that he picked up in book 1, or is this the one from outside of Kalish that he got thrown into when the feeder attacked?
I thought he had lots of plants.
My only note was that in this section he did say, which could be true or not, that he started collecting these plants yesterday.
Okay.
I thought it was like almost like a whole greenhouse in his room.
Well, it was,
else.
but I assumed they were all from the one plant that he started collecting because it's been blooming like crazy every time he talks. So I thought they
that
were
would make
all
sense.
the same. But then I don't know what happened to his plant from book 1 if it's not that.
I
But
feel like that only makes sense because the plant in book 1 felt like such a big deal. I know it was so silly, but
Yeah.
like the fact that he had it or whatever, and now we're here, it makes sense that it would be, if not the same, but maybe he noticed the thing happen with it, and then he's
And
like
when he hit the
obviously
wall.
yeah.
researching it again. Yeah, it happened when he hit the wall.
Right. So I don't know if does this happen to him with like literally all plants? Because it seemed like it was specifically this one that's not even supposed to have flowers.
Flower. Yeah.
Yeah.
It says it releases spores once every 10 years.
Uh-huh.
So like, is the spores important?
Oh.
That he needs to collect them? I don't know. It's also giving Throne of Glass. If we're going to keep comparing Throne
Is
of
it?
Glass.
Oh, well, maybe.
A little bit.
I mean, there's supposed to be like one flower that,
Yeah.
for the queen or
I
whatever.
get
Yeah. True.
This is happening here.
I will say, like, a sporous plant flowering is interesting. He's right from a scientific perspective, but I kind of wonder if this is going to be something that they use against the rot. The rot doesn't seem like it's natural or like fungal in any way that they've said, but it does grow
Yeah.
sort of plant-like in the way it's described. So
Well, yeah, and even just metaphorically, this is like the opposite of
right,
what
yeah,
the
bloom
effect
rot,
that it's
yeah.
having. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
But the only description we got from book 1 of Carrion's plant was him saying, I don't know, I like the look of it. It was the only green thing for a mile amongst all that white. That's literally it. That was chapter 34 of Quicksilver. And then in chapter 34 of Brimstone, when he hits the wall, it says, behind him, the vines choking the crumbling brickwork suddenly bloomed, 1,000 tiny white flowers exploding open and wilting right before my eyes. Dried petals rained down on the smuggler, landing in his hair as he shoved away from the wall. So my assumption is that he noticed this happening, obviously, if it's, in his hair and stuff. Right. But they were just described as vines. So I could see this being the plant that's like not supposed to flower. But I also still think that these are the flowers that Adina loves.
That's what I was going to ask you next. If this was the same one. And do you think Adina put them specifically out there, specifically for this moment, specifically for all these things? Because she would do that.
Probably. Yeah, I don't know. I'm still torn between that, because I could definitely see that she planted them there for Carrion, or that it has something to do with the Fae name that I'm convinced that she's given to Ceres. But also maybe Carrion. I don't know.
Oh, actually, now that I think about it, hold on.
Yes.
Holding.
Scientific name for
Carnations.
carnations are Dianthus caryophyllus. So that could be something.
What?
Oh.
It's also carnations, just because this is under the Google search, known as the flower of the gods. That's all I got for you.
How long have you been sitting on that?
I just randomly popped in my head.
Is it like spelled the same?
I've not heard anyone talking
I don't think
about this.
so. Dianthus.
I mean, it's really close.
Really close, yeah.
Wow.
It's in the pink family, known for its spicy clove-like scent.
I know, I got the Wikipedia open.
Oh.
Yeah, that's super interesting.
Yeah, flower
Yeah,
of the
that's
gods.
crazy.
Wow.
I only randomly remember that because I once upon a time had a character who had the name Dian, and it was because of that. It was a shortened version of Dianthus.
It's interesting that it's of the gods, since
didn't
Carrion
know
hasn't
that.
had any connection to that we know of. So
Right,
far.
yeah.
Wow.
If that is truly what I mean, it's so close to that name. I'd have to believe there's some correlation there, but
Okay, I take that back about him not having a connection. Because, just in the one moment where he came from Avelia to Zilvarin and then the time discrepancies between
Yeah.
the ages of everyone. So there was some meddling with the gods in that.
that's true. Yeah.
That's, I guess, the only thing I can think of.
Oof.
That's crazy, Kyle.
That is crazy. All right. Let's get through our last two chapters real quick.
Okay.
Chapter 42, Black Dawn. This is Sarah's POV. I first put in a gif from How I Met Your Mother of Robin saying, "Nobody asked you, Patrice." And I put me at Danya this entire chapter. Anytime she opened her stupid mouth, this is me.
Oh my God. She was pretty savage in this section.
She was terrible.
It was a lot. Yeah. Okay, well, finally, Saris opens the dang book from Adina and says that she needed to keep her half vampiric blood, at least for the time being, and fully needed his as well. And like last section, she was in the like dream ballad with Kingfisher talking about like, oh, what if you took it? Like, should you have turned and gone back to being regularly Fae and stuff like that? I'm like, girl needs to remember to read the book right away. That could have been really bad if she was like making choices and not knowing like that. That would have been horrible. But also I wonder why she needs to stay vampire. Like, because obviously we don't have all the facts, but assumedly from what we do know that she and Foley are the only two vampires that we know of.
Yeah.
Then so why is that important that they keep that? I don't know.
Man.
And then it just says, read on at the White Cliffs. And I'm like, this is a weird scavenger hunt. I'm not sure how I feel about it as far as like a way to guide us through the rest of this book. But we'll see how it pays off, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, in the meantime, Hayden's jaw tightened, the muscles in his throat working. So cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
And then Saris rounds the corner and discovers the cause of the unpleasant tugging in her gut, the Hazrax. And I said, yay, where you been, bestie? Time for another information download, my guy.
Oh my gosh. Well, he starts by saying that you're only the third person I have broken my silence with in over a millennium, which is a wild way to live and exist in the world. Assumedly, Malcolm is the other person that we know of because he had to make the deal to stay in the court or be part of the Lords of Midnight or whatever. So who is this mysterious third person? We have Saris, Malcolm, and
I wonder if it was Algat or
Algat?
Foley.
Yeah.
Because he was in the library with
I'd
them.
be surprised about
supposedly.
Foley. Oh, okay. I see you.
Maybe.
Maybe it was Guru. He's just hanging out with the
Guru. He hasn't talked to anyone in 1,000 years, and then he's like, "Oh, Guru, the good boy.
cat. Kitty, you want some scritchies?
You want to have some small talk?"
I feel like that makes sense. That's canon. Okay.
Yep.
Solved. Then he says that the rune is the Hazrak's name. The ability that my rune grants you is complicated. It allows you to ... undo or maybe ... break. And I was like, okay, so obviously it broke Tal's magic thing that was happening there, but like, is there another reason we need to break something? And the only thing I can think of that's magically bonded in this moment is their mating bond? Question mark. And I really don't think I like that, but I don't know what else in this moment I could think of.
I thought it was just wild for him to be like, it's complicated. And then he described it with 2 single word descriptions. I'm like, so it can't be that complicated, dude. Undo. Got it.
Got it. Control Z for Zareth.
Honestly, I don't know. And then he says, think of this as like an apology. I assume like the rune, almost as a gift. Think of it as an apology for what is to come. I have seen through the eyes of your oracle, and your future is not an easy one. There are those who would consider me partially to blame for that. So wait, what? So what did the Hazrax do, or what is
Yeah,
he going to do?
Yeah, God.
Like,
Does this mean he's seen through the eyes of Idina?
I would assume
I
is the
think
only
so.
oracle I know of. But yeah.
Her and what's her face? Malway is the only other
Oh yeah. Forgot about
oracle,
her.
I believe, that we know of.
But I wouldn't think he would say that's
Your
her-
yeah.
Yeah, for Ceres's oracle, but
Weird.
still technically. And then why is he partially to blame? Is it because of this rune? Is it because of something else? I don't know.
Because he didn't act against it. He just sat and watched.
Maybe. I don't know.
man.
And then finally she says, people call you the Hazrak, but that's not the name that's inked into my skin now, is it? And it's like, clever child, it is not. And she says, you're never going to tell me what you are you? The Hazrak smiles. It's needle smile. Ugh. Why would I when you're so close to piecing it all together, King Killer? You've almost figured it out. And I'm like, well, I'm glad Ceres has, because I haven't. I got no idea.
Fill me in, girl.
Oh my gosh. All right, well, that takes us to chapter 43. It's called Dark Spots. This is a King Fisher POV. And my first note is just, where the heck is Renfis? We've not really talked about it this whole chapter section. But this whole chapter section, he has been missing, even I guess some of the last. And they're trying to find him. In this moment, I think Ishabal is trying to scry for him, but it is not coming up. But one of the things that I thought was interesting that Ishabal says is Quicksilver pools, Sprite colonies, the black markets in Dow and on Terranross. There are so many locations that are either warded from external magic or contain so much powerful magic that they drown out all other energy. Scrying isn't. And then she gets interrupted with like, yeah, scrying isn't like precise, or it doesn't always work or whatever. So I want to think Renfis is potentially in one of these locations and
He's
is
on this
safe.
sea adventure.
Yeah, and he's safe and he's fine. He's just like, maybe he's in a sprite colony of fire sprites and he's trying to get Brimstone or something. Or maybe he's
With
doing
the
something in
mermaids
black
and the
markets.
sea dragons.
Right. So maybe he's somewhere like that. And he's not dead on the side of the road or
No,
Or,
he's fine.
or a feeder. Yeah, he's fine. He's up to something. I have theories. I have it in my thoughts and theories later. But
I definitely
he's
don't
up
think
to something.
Yeah, I definitely don't think there'd be all that lead up to like, where is he? And then he's dead. Like, I don't think he would get an off-page
Hope not.
death if she's going to kill somebody off. In Fisher's POV, he's like thinking about Ishabal and how pissed he is at her. And he says she was probably my least favorite person in a 200-mile radius right now. And I wrote, I still love her, TBH. But I think it's partially because if she's a villain, she might be one of my new favorite villains. I just feel like I like the deception because part of me feels like it's for good intent overall, but even if it's not, I just appreciate I appreciate the cleverness, because sometimes it's like they're a villain just to be a villain and they're stupid, or like they give their whole monologue and they give away all their secrets immediately or whatever. But I like that she came in, we all liked her a lot, and then this like crazy thing happened. So I'm for
You'll
her.
be holding
either
the
way.
sign that says Ishabal did nothing wrong.
Yeah. Anyway, sure.
Only time will tell on both of those things.
I like her either way.
Yeah. Well, this is kind of the conversation we talked about earlier, where Kingfisher was calling her out for using dark magic and said the High Council outlawed dark magic a millennia ago. That's how Algot found herself cast out of the Kinross clan, wasn't it? And then she kind of like talks about all this other stuff. And it said the matriarchs of Ishabal's house had no idea what she had done. I'm with Khan on like just needing to know more about witches, but this is, I think, the first time we get something about a clan name. And yeah, the fact, obviously, from my past witch stuff, just like with matriarchs, but like, okay, so here's some confirmation. It's the same way. Like what other thing can I grasp from this just to somewhat put together the world that is the witches in this book? And I would love to see more. So that's all that. And then we get this really interesting world building and character development about Lorith and his magic from his family in the north. And we see him use the magic on Ishabal, which was kind of a crazy moment. Because, yeah, we haven't seen any of that. And just interesting that he thinks he's not allowed to use it, or that whole weird little side story for Lorith is just kind of interesting.
Yeah.
And then it said, regardless of her abilities, she was right about Lorith. He wouldn't have hurt her. The damned witch had him acting the fool. To say his people and his history with the Balkidder clan would have been an understatement. He wouldn't have caused her any harm, even if he didn't believe that right now. And it just really bothers me that I still don't know anything of why Laura has an issue with the witches. I'm like seriously so upset. I love that Kingfisher sees his friend's emotions and stuff. Like, you know, like he wouldn't have caused her harm even if he didn't believe that right now. Like Kingfisher sees that of his friends. He said similar stuff with like Wren and his feelings with Everlane and stuff. And he's just kind of there for them. And I love that for Kingfisher. I love that Lorith is in love and he just doesn't know how to express his feelings with Ishabal. No, but I need to know the whole backstory.
Yeah.
It's just,
You've never seen someone so hot that you hate them.
It's so unfair.
Oh, you're so hot. Makes me angry.
Yes. And then I just had a quick note that I love this note from Fisher looking at Saris. It says, my chest tightened with unspeakable pride when I saw her black tresses now hung in war braids beneath her hood. Fae war braids. I'm like, hell yes. Queen Saris. Go off with your Fae braids. I want fan art of this. I want to see this.
I want your hair like that.
Okay. Somebody,
you're good at braiding.
Somebody tell me what Fae war braids are supposed to look like.
You're just like, okay.
Okay, I'll do it.
Do a whole tutorial and teach everybody on the internet.
Okay, great. And then Fisher works his jaw, so drinkies.
Oh, I love it. Well, Kingfisher is kind of saying goodbye to Kalish. They're all getting ready to go through Kingfisher's Shadowgate to get out of there and away from the rot. And a bunch of the friends start coming over, and Kingfisher says, relief stabbed through me at the sight. In the estate full of valuables and riches, it was the books they were saving. The information inside of some of these tomes couldn't be found anywhere else in Avelia. They had been Belicon's first priority when he had assumed the throne of the Winter Palace to seek out and destroy anything that might threaten his reign. For as evil as he was smart. And then it talks about how he knew if he burned all the books, he could rewrite history to whatever he wanted it to be. But now they go through the Shadowgate and it says, hello, dog. And the only person I've ever known to call anybody that would be Belicon, calling that to Kingfisher. So if it is Belicon, because I have theories on it, might not be, but if it is, then now he has all these books that they were just trying to keep away from him or whatever. So that's super unfortunate. That would be
yeah. I'm confused, I guess, about the logistics of this. I'm excited to read on because it said from the space between worlds or something.
Yes, that's where my theory is too.
Yeah, because I feel like
But
if
it's not
Belicon was just
Belicon.
chilling right there, people wouldn't have kept I feel like they would have turned back around and come back through the Shadowgate or something.
If they could, yeah.
If they could, yeah. I don't know. So I don't know if he has them or not, but I thought that was interesting. So in Fisher's POV, it says Lorith had tried to convince Archer and his friends to leave with us. And this is where he's talking about that they stayed, believing their brimstone would protect them from the rot. And this just made me really sad because I would love to hope that all the fire sprites will be fine. But I feel like some of them might die trying to protect Kalish or each other. I'm worried.
So,
yeah.
I really hope that they'll save Kalish.
Yeah.
That for some reason it's the whole entire, you see the scene, everything's black and horrible and awful except for this one little spot with the house, and they somehow saved it. Just with the pyre being literally underneath the house itself, it just feels like the whole place could be saved. And I don't know, I feel like that would make sense for Kingfisher and his storyline, maybe, that he wouldn't lose this connection to his parents and all the things. And at least I hope it would. I like that
That's
idea.
true.
But okay, well, then we get this little thing about Carrion, and it goes back to what the heck is this guy up to. It said the smuggler was wearing 3 coats layered one on top of the other. His hands were encased in mittens. Why are you dressed like that? Saris asked. And he says, because I always end up sitting in a snowbank, waiting around for hours while everyone else disappears off to do something dangerous. And I don't love being cold, Saris. And that is a very funny Carrion line. But ever since he was you're all just going to paint me the fool, I'm going to act the fool or whatever. I just don't trust it. I feel like something's up. And it makes me wonder if he's going to run off or something.
Oh.
Or
or
go, I don't know, up to the Glorian Mountains or something, because he has all that history from there, or I don't know.
Yeah. Or it could just be one Carrion in 3 trench coats.
Kyle! Yes!
That was good. That's what it is. Carrion would make that joke too.
I'm so proud right now.
Yes, that's 100% what it is. Okay, problem solved.
That's exactly what it is. Oh my gosh.
He's he has been living basically in a greenhouse, so maybe he just got used to the warmer climate.
True. Yeah.
He's gonna be cold.
Maybe he's smuggling all his plants in his coat.
Maybe. Keeping him warm.
It'd be kind of funny if like he keeps talking and all the flowers just start coming out.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh. Well, my last note from this section was just as soon as Fisher said to Saris, "Go on, I'm right behind you," I wrote, "Uh-oh, this can't be good."
Absolutely. And then the last line, a voice calling out from the space between worlds. "Hello, dog."
Ugh.
And my note was Bellicon, because he's the only one we've
Yeah.
heard called dog.
Yeah.
But it is the space between worlds. And
Yeah.
that, is it just what he hears when he's walking through the Shadow Gate and he hadn't made it there all the way? Or is it actually some other in-between space?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I thought it was Malcolm when I first read the end of this.
Interesting.
I was like, oh, space between worlds. This is like Malcolm's soul floating around in the ether and he can just like hear him through the Shadow Gate or something. But then John was like, if it was Malcolm, though, he would have been like, "Hello, darling." And I was like, that's
Yeah.
probably fair. I was like, yeah, dog makes sense for it to be Bellicon.
I think I immediately thought he just went through and he hit the other side and Bellicon was there with like his army or something.
Yeah.
And it was on like after typing the note, whatever, stopping the audiobooks, getting ready to put away the reading, that I was like, wait, it's a space between worlds,
Yeah.
and like rethought it. But
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know.
All right.
We did
All
it.
right. We did it. Let's get into our thoughts, characters, world building, favorite things, etc. Lauren.
Hello. Yeah, I was not expecting these chapters at all. I feel like I've had theories and things going into Brimstone, and it's not anything at all like I think I expected it to be.
Nope.
And I'm really shocked at what Tal did, like I said earlier, and I'm honestly kind of annoyed that I didn't maybe see that more of him. And I'm even more annoyed that they left Amontreus, and I have no idea what's going on there. And if they're captured or something going on right now, maybe we won't know any of it. This whole book. I don't know. But especially after like what Kingfisher learned, that some of his people were still there as vampires, and then Kingfisher's just so cool to just be like, "Nah, let's just leave them." And I'm like, bro, that could have been all your friends. Just like chilling there. Yeah. But okay, sure. Because it said like 1 in 10 changed or chose to change. So that's still, I feel like, a lot.
A lot.
I mean, obviously it's a ton more that decided to die, but there's still a lot left over. So anyway, everything's basically just a hot mess right now. I'm really worried for Renfis, my boy. What the F is up with Algat? What the heck is going on with Carrion? Why does no one finish a conversation but instead gets a new surprise interruption every second? I don't know, and I just need answers. That's what I wrote.
Yep. Retweet.
Yeah, I said for one, I feel like Archer's injury was pure shock value. Sorry to mention that earlier. Just like he's literally up and dancing in the next scene. Taladeus was also spared his admittedly self-inflicted gruesome end, and Danya's up and at him. Even Kingfisher and Carrion basically unscathed from their little trip abroad earlier. Basically, my point is nothing like feels at stake. I feel like I know the whole multiverse is rotting away in front of our very eyes, and hundreds of, not thousands, of unnamed Fae and vampires died.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone's getting free passes, and I hope one of those passes gets lost soon, because Papa needs some trauma, okay? And that's kind of what I was saying earlier with you two, Lauren. Like, just with Kingfisher and Saris's relationship, I feel like it just is right now. There's nothing that I'm like, oh wow, they're growing or changing or anything. It's just like, man, I kind of wish they were still in that time where there felt like a need for conversation before just switching directly from, oh, all the vampires dead, let's have sex. Like, what was how do your emotions go from one to the other like that?
Yep.
I get you're both super hot, but I mean, like, make it realistic.
And I love like, yeah, the romantasy and the spice and all of that comes with that type of book. But at this moment in the book, I am okay that we just be like, oh, last night we whatever, and then move on, and that the bulk of the book was the information that I need.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
in the second
feels-
book, I'm okay that it started spicy because that's where their relationship is. But I feel like at this moment, I don't need every single time to be descripted.
Every
I would rather
conversation
have
they
the
have
other
turning into
information.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd rather the actual meat of the story.
Ayo.
I enjoy
Heyo.
that. Okay. I enjoy that meat of the story,
Yeah.
but I just want the other meat of the story.
Two meats?
Two meats.
Double
Arby's,
meat.
not
Two
Wendy's.
meats. Oh, my bad. A double baconator?
Whoa, hey, come on.
All right. Go ahead, John.
Yeah, I feel you though, and I'll get to that here in a minute. But first of all, my big qualm was, so Ishabal has only been gone for apparently a few days, doing this really intense like rite of passage or trial or whatever, and apparently came back right after that, but has also found the time to scheme with Tao and plan this whole thing to take down the High Bloods. Right. Okay. But I just had I hardly had any notes at the end because I'm like having an internal battle of how to feel with all the new developments, just like you were talking about, Lauren. Like, it's just not what I had in mind. So when it comes to Amentreth, it's like the High Bloods are now gone. So now her queenhood is kind of pointless. And like, how would the now Fae people survive the Horde? Like, there's no way for them to control the Horde now. So they're dead. Basically, like if the Horde ends up eventually somehow finding them, like how are they going to defend themselves at all if they're, I'm starting to get annoyed with Carrion's flippantness, but at the same time, I feel like she's really going in heavy on that for his character, and then he's just going to turn into like a total boss with all of like the knowledge that he's gathering, because he's clearly getting a lot. And then I'm actually kind of excited about Hayden's character development. Hopefully we see him like step up a little bit. He seems to kind of be, he's trying to process everything. He's going through some things. So hopefully he steps into, I don't know, like a bigger role, if you want to think of it that way, to kind of help them in his own way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Nice.
Right
What you got,
now, I know a lot of these things that are happening are bad, but I am very excited that crazy things are happening because I just have no idea how this series is supposed to wrap up in one more book. And I've been waiting for things to open up a bit more, like in the world. And the pacing of this book has felt a little wonky to me, but that could just be like reading in sections for the pod, plus the POV changes that we didn't have before. But I'm still really looking forward to learning more about the witches. I have no clue who the ultimate antagonist will be, since it seems like everyone is a villain right now, but I am expecting a lot more from the gods at some point, and maybe that will weave back in a lot of the things that are happening now.
Yeah. I kind of feel like we'll have another gods interaction at the end of the book, like we did at the end of Quicksilver.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that.
Agreed.
Well, speaking of the end of the book, let's get into theories. What do you got, John?
So my initial thought here was like, okay, so did Belicon just like kidnap everyone? Did they actually make it to Inishtar? And he just happened to catch Fisher being the last one, or he was just waiting for Fisher to be the last one to like talk to him or whatever. Like, I'm sure we'll get that literally in the next chapter, it seems like. I have been thinking about Ceres's blood seeming to like be Quicksilver now. Like, we can see the silverness. I'm wondering if, what's it called again? The Tria Prima? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
If basically her life force, her life's force will turn into that. So like it won't be only just like the Quicksilver that is kind of like going through her. She's going to somehow it's going to be, she's going to have the Tria Prima flowing through her as her life force kind of thing. And I'm wondering if then she will give that over to the tree
Oh.
to heal the rot.
So that's Tria Prima.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Some prime tree.
Nice.
Prime, grade A, beefy tree. But yeah, and like, I mean, dang, if that were to happen, then in my mind, there would be no more Ceres, probably no more Kingfisher. What a wild way to end, where it would like be that she would be kind of the end, because it said it would end with her.
And he said if she goes, he goes.
So I'm like, and it kind of all, this kind of goes with my theory of like, I feel like it all kind of stems from the tree. Because if it's going for all the puns, it is really rooted in the tree. But yeah,
Nothing to bark at.
yeah.
You're going out on a limb here, man.
Whoa, hey. Yeah, but like with it apparently like going through different worlds and realms with the leaves dropping off and everything, I could see it being her essentially sacrificing herself in that way, knowing that, you know, the tree is kind of just creation, I guess, in itself, if you want to think of it that way. So it would need to happen there to kill the rot everywhere. Because I mean, even if they happen to stop it from spreading in this world, it's still they're kind of screwed. It's still everywhere else.
Yeah, and they're kind of
Still in
that's kind
different
of
realms.
her job, I guess, is to save it for everyone.
Yeah.
For everything.
So
And I do think that would make sense if this is supposed to be a core trilogy with potentially some other spin-offs later, like of, you know, a Carrion POV book or something. That would make sense as like this is the core storyline, and then the way you continue the story is like these characters have
Like
died.
post.
And and you're
yeah.
you know, you have to switch to Carrion or
Yeah. Like
my girl
post-event.
Ishabal or
Yep.
Or even just a different realm
Interesting.
of people.
Yeah.
A whole different story
Yeah.
and how they dealt with the rot and
True.
all sorts of stuff. I really appreciate you bringing it back to the two, like the gods into the tree and stuff, because I feel like I keep getting so hyper fixated on what I can see and what is
Yes.
happening in the story. And I'm like, oh, wait, there's this bigger story.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that. I really do. Okay, well, my first thing was just being worried that Bellicon was going to take all the books, including Adina's book. Assume that Saris would have that as well. Obviously, we don't know that it is Bellicon because of this whole in-between spaces thing, but
Yeah.
I would be worried for her book and him reading the end or something. I also really feel like Renfis is on like a crazy mission. So he's been spending all this time with Everlane, and we know Everlane, or like Adina talked through Everlane to Saris, but who's to say she didn't do that again to Renfis maybe? And like maybe Renfis has been given some sort of secret mission or something he's had to do.
Interesting.
Also Adina style, and he could be off. I don't know. I just feel like he wouldn't just go off on his own without
Yeah.
someone telling him to do something, as much as he is like still commander of all the armies and stuff. I don't think he would abandon his people
Yeah.
without some bigger purpose, I guess. I would also love to see Renfis coming back, like riding a dragon. And that's the
Yeah.
Brimstone. I just really want dragons. But I think
that.
that'd be pretty cool. Like if
Yeah.
he's off making a deal with a dragon or something. That'd be pretty fire. I also think Carrion is going to run off since he's all bundled up, or something's going on with Carrion. It's not just 3 trench coats and a Carrion, or Carrion and whatever Kyle said. There's an actual meaning there. In a Carrion. They're in Carrion. And then, especially if Bellicon is there, it would be horrifying for Carrion because, like, he is Bellicon's biggest, I don't know, threat. Yeah, I guess, for potentially the throne in that moment. So that would be really scary for Carrion. Even if it's not an intentional, he runs away. It could be a moment that he is separated from everybody. He's just got to get out of there. And then I am really nervous about this whole Hazrak's gift thing, mating bond potentially breaking or something.
Yeah.
I don't know what else she would break. I just don't. I don't know what else magically is tied to her in her moment. Obviously, I didn't know that the towel thing was going to happen either, so it could just be something random. But I'm still just going to put it out there as a potential theory.
Another fake out.
Yep.
Yep.
What you got, Con?
I expect that Malcolm will somehow come back into play at some point, and that maybe we'll get sort of a status update in this conversation with Bellicon, if that's about to happen. I'm wondering if we will find out more about what happened at the Evenlight Festival in Zilvarin, if that was happening at the same time, because
Ooh, I forgot about that.
yeah, because they didn't know like what Madra's, you know, gift was going to be or whatever. I think Carrion has way more power than anyone realizes, and that some of the research he's been doing has been on like where that power comes from or how to wield it. It has become headcanon for me that Adina gave Saris a Fae name and that it's related to these crazy flowers from Kalish, but I could also see that being related to Carrion now after our conversation. And then I think Ishabal is either going to turn out to be one of my favorite good guys once we learn more about the witches, or one of my new favorite villains. And that's it.
Nice.
I don't really have any new theories from what I had last week, but Lauren said that's not allowed, and I gotta earn my keep, so here's a few that have little to nothing to stand on. I feel like There's going to be something more to the repeated line, both literal and ancestral, of Kingfisher and his dad's strength being his shadows. It was repeated often enough, aka once, that I'm sure it'll have some big standing in the story, and we're kind of out of options of current characters that his dad could be, so it's probably going to be something wild, like some ancient being more powerful than the Fae themselves, kind of like Ego being Peter Quill's dad, and Peter ends up being half god. The last bit of Marvel reference for you. Also a spoiler for like a 15-year-old movie.
Yeah.
I would also say that the Archer thing, plus Ceres' new undo button that the Hazrax gave her, we're going to encounter some other death that feels emotional and terrible, only to have it almost immediately undone. And I was going to say some side characters with a bit of story behind them, like Renfis, Lorith, or a hot witch. But honestly, since they're on the cover and all over the art of the special edition, I'm betting it's going to be either Carrion or Onyx.
No.
And I hate it, but I see it coming. I bet it's like, it is literally going to be like a, oh my gosh, they're dead. And then she's going to be like, oh wait, I have this undo rune. Bloop, they're not dead.
Yeah.
And that's what I foresee.
Okay.
We're
I see
dead. We're alive.
Yeah.
But we're dead.
And then, like Laura mentioned it too, and I must mention it because I want to speak it into existence. But where's the dragons? I feel like we've been promised this whole time.
I don't know that we've been promised. I think we just hope.
We've been promised.
Got it.
I was
Last
told
of
there'd be
their line. Yeah.
yeah.
I was told there wouldn't be dragons, which leads me to believe that there will absolutely be dragons.
I was told there were millions of tiny dragons in a trench coat. Where are they at?
That's why he's taking so many coats. He needs to give the coats
he's
out
gotta
to
be
the
with
dragons.
The dragons
that
can
makes
come back.
sense.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Probably my favorite joke we make. Con, can you please make us merch where it is all four of us in a giant trench coat?
Just our little heads poking out.
Yeah. That'd be pretty good.
I'll see what I can do.
Yes. That takes us to the cry counter for this episode. No one cried this time around, so it still leaves me with one, with Kingfisher supporting Carrion through his grief, and everybody else at big old 0, which means you're all about to get wrecked at the end of this book.
One can only hope.
Yeah, doubt it. That was good, Kyle.
Doubt.
Well, and that's it for this week. But stick around for a freestyle rap from John about our socials. Next week, we'll be covering chapters 44 to 47, which can't be right. That's only 4 chapters, but Julie has yet to steer us wrong. So I'm sure it'll be packed with surprises and stuff to talk about and all this junk. And as always, you can find our full episode schedule pinned on our Instagram if you'd like to read along with us. If you've already read the whole thing, you need to know that no extra points are awarded for expediency, so please no spoilers, especially not in our DMs. We do have Discord channels for both spoiler-free discussion that matches our reading pace and full series spoiler chats where you can spoil yourself and others. Join us through Patreon to read with us or read ahead with others. Bye-bye.
Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at Between Pages and Friends. Check out our website, betweenpagesandfriends.com, for merch, events. Sign up for our newsletter to keep up with all things happening at BPNF. Until next time, stay wordy, stay nerdy, don't stress, and stay blessed.
I think one of you
See you
needs to
later.
just drop a beat next time. And
That's
that'll
what
be
I was
the
just about to say.
impetus.
I'm getting some things in the mind for next
Got
week.
2 more episodes. Don't let us
More
down.
episodes,
Two.
yeah.
2 more episodes? 2 episodes?
2 episodes?
2 episodes?
And scene.